Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Here We Are Year Zero. I'm going to be your DM, GM, storyteller, whichever you would like to call me, Forgotten Dreams, and I am here with a bunch of lovely people for the second episode. Yay! And you might even notice someone new among us. But starting off directly next to me, we have the wonderful Eric.
How's it going?
Next up, we have Cabby.
Hello!
Next up, we have Unicorn.
Hey.
And last but not least, a new member joining the crew, we have someone who I will always refer to from now on as Moo.
I'm scared.
Don't let them deceive you. It's Mowgli.
I will stab you. I mean, hey, PG-13 comments.
I love it. All right. So, does anyone want to risk giving me a last time on Here We Are?
Sure.
Yes, go Cabby.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, because when you people play in my game, it pisses me off when no one jumps for it.
Look, I
Assholes.
jumped. Look, I'm going to say this right now because everyone else is listening. So I, audience, have I have told Cabby stories back to him from the previous week, and he said it was too long. So I have no longer decided to recap because I was told it was too long. So there you go.
Pertinent issues.
Yes.
I mean,
So,
I would have done it, but I'm not qualified.
there is an outbreak of a virus of some kind that had spread from Africa. After about a week, our characters were sent to an apartment building. I do believe you said it was in the Chelsea portion of New York.
21 Chelsea.
Where we were to go and test out a bunch of residents to make sure that they were not infected with the virus. My character was along to basically taxi anyone from the apartment who tested positive to the hospital. Rachel was there to do the actual testing, and Dexter was one of the residents in the building. We were set to start from the top floor and work our way down. However, after doing our first test, shit got real, and we barricaded ourselves in Dexter's apartment because scary, bitey people are outside.
And also, the cell phone warning or whatever told us
Yes.
to.
I don't listen to no magical person in my TV set.
I mean, I feel like by this time we're all very well trained to do so. Like
The dude biting everyone in the hallway was enough for me.
well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
All right. So, coming back into
yeah.
things. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
I almost forgot. And Mr. Blue Sky has been ruined for all of us from now on.
Oh,
Yes.
So sorry.
Yes.
I'm
No, you're
so
not.
sorry.
Totally
That
thought
is-
that was a Beatles song before that.
You thought that was
Wait, that's a what?
Beatles song?
Wait.
It's very similar to the Beatles sound.
That's a song?
It's
I
true.
don't even know what that is.
You've heard it.
You've heard it. You've definitely heard it.
I trust it then. I trust I've heard it.
Yeah, we'll introduce you to you on the break.
Bet.
But getting back into things, last we left off, it was 11:30 at night, and the four of you, and when I say the four of you, I mean the three of you, including the nurse, in the apartment, have sort of barricaded yourselves in. You've managed to put up essentially wood shelf planks over the main doorway and the large window in the apartment. And you've also made sure to turn all your devices to silent mode. And the few devices that aren't on silent are running on headphones. Some of the last things we saw before we all went to black was a National Guard Humvee rolling through Central and firing off at a group of infected individuals. And it was at that point that the party figured that maybe these zombies aren't the undead, maybe they're just super hard to kill. And while that discussion was happening, you noticed an individual go into the Sherwin-Williams paints across the street through the security cams that you now have full access to. And we kind of dropped it as you saw him scurry off. I believe I said in the direction of 6th Street. If I said 7th, I apologize. With a bunch of essentially instant cement and proofing. And that's kind of where we left it. So, we're going to pick up. Not with the 4 of you in the apartment, but instead we pick up in a car. Hold on, let me get my map here. 1 secundo. That's the map I want, yes. It's a police car. In particular, it's one of those white New York City police Tahoes. And it's got 3 individuals in it. It has an officer we might all recognize from the DM's horrible name choices of the year, an Officer RuPaul, a Officer Jacobson, and also 1 individual in the back seat of the Tahoe. This is where the DM is blanking on the character name, and we'll find it out in 1 second. If Kira would like to describe how they look.
All right. So you'll see the 2 professionals, as well as what appears to be a young adult female, and they are sitting there quietly with their nice hair, the aesthetics of which are kind of like a blackish green kind of thing, one of those things that hits the sunlight, it does a certain way. Nationality a little vague, could be a little Eastern European with some Asian, a little gray area, and they're rocking an eye patch covering their left eye, just sitting there calmly. The hair length is going right to the shoulders.
So we see the 3 of these individuals in the car, and they're driving very quickly. They're hitting about 50 miles an hour, and you're passing by wrecked and parked cars left and right. You're not seeing anyone in the streets. There is just the sound of, and I forgot, Cabby told me the term last week.
Klaxons.
Not a klaxon alarm. The sound that the radio makes when it's not receiving.
Oh, bonking.
Bonking. You currently can hear, like on low, the police car's radio making the bonking noise, and they're just keeping it on just in case they get within range of the signal. When suddenly you watch as an individual steps out into the street. And Rue, the officer driving, tries to slam on the brakes and avoid the person, unfortunately hitting a car. And we watch as the Tahoe goes tumbling end over end for about a third of a block. And Kira, in the car crash, you end up blacking out. And you don't know for how long. But when you come awake, you realize neither of the officers are in the car. The windshield's busted out. And there's no sounds whatsoever in the city other than the creaking sound of buildings around you, the whistling of the wind, and the light falling of sleet and snow.
All right, fun times. So I guess I will try to quietly move around and very carefully feel out how my appendages are. Do I feel any kind of either superficial injuries or any sprains or things of that nature? Especially sensitive with my neck.
Go ahead, and we're going to have you do the first roll of the night. Let me pull up your character sheet real quick here. Make me a first aid check.
Okay. So to do so, I am going to click the word first aid.
You're going to click the word first aid. It's going to ask you if you want to use any gear. You're going to say none. Then it's going to ask you if you want to use a modifier. You're just going to keep it on 1 and say submit.
All right, simple enough. Here we go.
Okay, not bad. I kind of expected that with a 29. So as you check yourself over, you don't feel like there's anything wrong, but you're not exactly sure. You check behind you and behind your neck, and your fingers come back with a little bit of blood, and you're not sure if it's yours or someone else's. You don't feel any pain when you feel back there, but you're kind of distracted by the sound of something dripping.
I try to look in the direction of this dripping and see if I can better visualize the source of the liquid.
Okay. You look around and you can see out of a busted front window that's kind of, it looks like it's been purposefully kicked out, that's scattered maybe 5 feet away from the front of the car, which is upside down, by the way. There is liquid that is just dripping from the hood.
Okay, piecing it together. All right, quick assessment time. I know police vehicles tend to have a shotgun in them, and I don't know if they have an extra handgun. I guess I'll quickly look around to see if I can find any kind of munitions.
Make me a spot listen.
Right. Spot listen.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize to my players and also our audience, because it appears that the Roll20 jukebox is totally borked today.
Am I able to use some competence points to push that to a success?
You absolutely are. Speaking of which, I should bring up with our players, we should go ahead and figure out what everybody's competency points are. So let me go ahead and let's get that out of the way for everybody. So 1 second here while I bring up the calculator for it. That way we know how many competency points everybody has. So, simple quick questionnaire here. As I press the wrong tab on the rulebook. Let's see, competency points. All right, so if you need a calculator, grab one real quick on your desktop and go ahead and take your max health that you currently are at, minusing any injuries that you have. I believe all of you should be health 5, including Kira. Then take your morale points, so underneath your psyche, what your current total morale is. I believe some of you did lose morale last session, so take that total, not what your grand total is. Then take another competency points for how many, for every 10 years you've been alive. And then take a competency point for every bonus that you have in your spew. And once you guys have figured all that out, you will know what your total competency points are.
I also get a point for each profession or something like that?
Yes, indeed you do. Work experience. Yeah, +1 competency point for every tier in a profession you have.
My number is correct. And if I remember correctly, these recover, right? Or
these recover every 20 hours in game, or every new session, depending on which happens first.
Okay. So take 5 from it and just recalculate each time as morale will adjust, right?
Yep.
Very cool.
All right. So in
One more
order
time,
to...
formula.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
One more time with the competency formula.
Absolutely. So it's going to be 1 competency point per point of unused health that you have. All of you have a max total health points of 5. Seeing as none of you are injured, you will have 5 from that. Then you take what your sanity is, which is the equivalent to your current psyche. So for instance, for you, Eric, that is going to be, for Dexter, I apologize, That is going to be +4 to that. So you're going to have 9 at this point for Dexter. Then we're going to go over to Wisdom, which is 1 point for every 10 years your character's been alive. So if your character's 28, they still get only 2 competency points, but if your character's 30, they get 3, so on and so forth. Then you get Power, which is your Strength bonus, which is the number in green. Then you get your Sense, which is your Perception bonus in green. Devotion, Empathy, bonus in green. And then Determination, Willpower bonus in green. And then for every tier of a profession that you have, you get another point.
Oh, hey, Aaron, I was looking something real quick. Just to clarify on the expert skills. If it's unsupported, you cannot advance it. If it is supported, you take disadvantage on the roll.
Yeah.
If it's specialized, you get straight D5.
Yeah. That's specifically for the expert skills.
Right.
I forget how old I am.
We're gonna do this
So once everybody has figured that out, why don't we go around and have everyone say what their total is?
I have got 25.
Okay.
So Aaron, I had 28
Mhm.
from last time.
Mhm.
I'm taking another 28 because I haven't changed anything. Like my vitality hasn't changed, my psyche hasn't changed, nothing has changed. So I'm assuming I just get another 28.
No, your number stays at 28 because these do not stack.
Oh, okay. So 28 then.
It just refreshes itself every 20 hours in game or every new session.
Oh, okay. Well, so 28.
Yep.
I'm not as happy. I wanted 56.
All right, now that we figured that out. So for this roll, you have the 1 failure. What you can do is you can spend up to a max of 3 of your competency points in order to give yourself successes in the roll that you just did.
Oh, up to 3. All right, 5's
Up
too
to
big.
3 per action.
Okay, so I can't flip that into a success, right?
You can.
5.
You only have the one. You only have the 1 failure, so you spend 1 competency point, and that will make it into a nullified. You don't have any setbacks whatsoever, but you don't succeed. If you take another competency point and add that in, you get 1 success, and then if you take your 3rd, you'll have 2 successes to play with.
Oh, so it doesn't adjust the percentile; it just adjusts the results per point.
Correct.
Okay, I see. Okay, yep.
And you can do
I
this. You can spend competency points, by the way, before or after a roll, but never can you double down. So you can't spend competency points before the roll, and then spend more competency points. You have to choose either before or after.
So per roll, basically. All right. So, Kira's down to throw 3 because this seems like a very dire situation.
Okay, that'll bring you to 2 successes. So we'll have the 1 success be you manage to find that there is a Mossberg 500 shotgun that is in this Tahoe that's kind of just laying down on the ceiling above the passenger seat in the car. What would you like to use, or what would you like to do with your 2nd success?
My 2nd success, I would like to, I guess since this was perception based, identify the most efficient path of escape without getting this liquid on me or drawing attention from any possible aggressors nearby, if that's an option.
Sure. So your best bet, from what you can see, would probably be to first of all get yourself unbuckled as quietly as possible, and then See if any of the doors are unlocked to possibly open, because currently only the front window is busted out.
All right. So I will put my hand onto the ceiling for leverage, quietly try to unbuckle and let my weight gently fall to my shoulder as I cradle towards a shotgun, grab it, and then feel for the door that I guess would be the driver's side, trying to feel if that's unlocked.
Okay. Go ahead and feel for the door, and it is unlocked.
Cool. All right. I look through the window. Do I see anything in the immediate, girth space?
Go ahead and make me another spot listen.
Okay, this is my life. Doing my best.
I just really wish
Alright,
this
that's
Roll20
success.
jukebox would be
Woo!
working.
Look at that.
Very
That's
nice.
success.
One success. So you look around. You see that there is a blood trail that's coming from where Officer Rue was sitting. That goes out this window and starts heading towards the sidewalk off to your left. And then there's a large patch of blood on a gray Tahoe, not a gray Tahoe, but a gray Toyota that is right next to the curb. And the trail seems to keep going in that direction before you lose sight of it. Other than that, complete silence.
Fun. All right. Okay. I want to quickly. Damn it! The oil's dripping. Got a time limit. All right. I would like to think it doesn't take too long. I'll gamble it's not going to ignite versus me doing this when it's going to be louder. While the door's still closed, I want to quickly check how much ammunition this weapon has.
That is I am not a fan of shotguns, so I would not know how you check a internal magazine shotgun for its ammo capacity.
Is
If
it a
Cabby or possibly even Eric could help me out with that.
It depends on the model. Some
Yeah.
of them
The 500
have.
The 500 has holes down the side
Yeah.
of the magazine, and you can see the shells through the holes.
Okay. In that case, you can see that it currently has 4 shells in it.
beautiful? I will quietly work my way to the other door, see if that's unlocked.
You quietly make your way over there. Make me a stealth check.
All right, sneaky, sneaky. That is going to be under basic. Boop, boop. Oh, good times. I would like.
Would you like to spend 3
True.
more competency points so you get nullified there?
Yeah, reasonable.
Okay.
Reasonable decision.
So you go ahead and spend 3 more competency points, and you don't make a ton of noise, but you can clearly hear like the sound, and this is like for anybody who would probably be within the 5-foot range. You can like hear the sound of your knees and your hands shuffling across the hood of the car and making that dented, like very thin metal sound as you move over. And you go to check the door, and that one, you're checking the passenger side door in the front.
Yes.
Yeah, that's unlocked as well.
All right. All right. I guess I will. I guess peer out this window and roll for luck, right? Basically.
All right.
Or
So you're just looking out the window?
yeah.
Okay. You look out the window. Still quiet.
All right. Cool. If there's no obvious signs of blood trails and danger, I will try to quietly open it and crawl out of the vehicle through this door.
Unfortunately, there's no way to really quietly open this door as you hear a and it kind of rings out down the block, and it swings open. And you have to give it quite a bit of force to open it, because it swings open initially, and then it starts swinging back towards you, and you have to hold it open so it doesn't slam closed again.
Fun. Okay. Seeing as I don't supposedly hear any signs of things trying to kill me, I just kind of booty scoot out, feet first, working my way up and looking around the wreckage.
Easily done. Make me another spot listen.
Right, this is my roll for the day. Every time, no
It's
matter
one
what
of the most
happens,
common
gonna
rules that's going to
be
happen in this
bad.
game.
Oh no,
Hey,
that's
So,
worse than before.
so, I know this is a finite resource. This is a bad scenario. I'm gonna burn 3 to make it just 1 negative. That work?
Okay. All right. You look around, and as you do, you realize you have no idea where you are.
All right. Okay. So vehicle that might ignite. I think there's buildings nearby. Are there any lights on any of the buildings?
There are lights on plenty of buildings. The power has not gone out here in New York. And every building is nice and lit up for nighttime. There are, of course, a couple of buildings that only have on their neon signs and have their shutter gates down. But most of the buildings look to be fully lit, but there isn't a soul around.
Fun. I guess. 50-50. I guess this. I will move. Is there like a. Okay. Is there one of these buildings seem like they're a pharmaceutical building of some kind or like, medicinal?
You can see. Hold on, I have to check on what the name of this place is. Oh, sorry, wrong street. That's the this street. It's not a medicinal shop, but it is a vitamin shop. And you can see it's literally the shop called The Vitamin Shop with 2 P's and an E. And from what you can see, you're kind of in the center of the street, and you're looking at the vitamin shop, and it's got like a buy one get one off or 50% off for weight gains, and we have CBD hemp extract. That's what you can see, and right across from that is a Trader Joe's.
I'm gonna. Okay.
You kind of keep looking around. You can see that there's a Bank of America off to your left, and behind, next to that, there's a wine and spirit market.
All right. I guess I am going to go towards the church. Doesn't have a pharmacist. All right. I guess I'll work to the vitamin shop, and I think it's closed at this hour.
It is closed, unfortunately.
I guess everything's closed. All right. So anything residential amongst this stuff?
Absolutely. You can see that there is what looks like an apartment building just down the street, and you're not sure what the name of it is, but it's obviously an apartment building. Actually, you are, because there's one of those tiny little triangular flags on the corner of the building. It says 21 Chelsea.
Okay.
And it looks like there might be a park next to it, but you'd have to get closer to see. And there's currently a semi truck that's a little bit up closer to you, ahead of whatever that park is, that's got its back open, and there's a bunch of boxes and packages, and you can see that there's quite a few of the boxes have like bottled water, and you can even see that one of the boxes is just an entire pallet full of whey gains.
Weight gains, like
the protein powder.
okay. I will. Or I think you're trying to tell me something about my body. Don't appreciate it. So I'm gonna work towards the apartment building, and I guess work towards the water bottles. Keeping an eye out since it was supposedly sleeting to try to not step on snowy areas. Black ice might surprise me, but we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. You make your way down there. Luckily, you don't run any black ice. There's maybe about a good 1.5 feet of snow on the ground at this point. And even though your mind's a little fuzzy right now, you remember something about the weather report saying you'd probably get about 5 feet today. But as you come up on these pallets and you're getting closer to these the pallet of water, you can see on the side of the semi truck it says KLB Sons,
Wait.
and there's go ahead.
Did you say 5 feet of snow?
Yeah.
That's not inches. You said 5 feet.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to
Snow
New York.
day.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Welcome to New York.
We're gonna be swimming in it, literally.
5 feet's not that bad.
Those
No,
sons of
it
bitches
really
better
isn't that.
plow trucks. I have work in the morning.
But yeah, you can also see that there's one of those mechanical, like hand push, forklifts. That's at the back of the semi truck next to the open portion of it, and it's caked in blood, but you don't see a body.
Wait, I 5 feet of snow is like
Yes,
almost
5
like
feet of
it's
snow.
5 inches away from being as tall as I am.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yes.
and you guys are like, yeah, it's nothing. Yeah. What?
Can I ask you a dumb question?
What?
Have you been to New York?
Look. I think you're.
Or
I'm.
any northern state for that matter.
Look, I
Yeah.
get snow. I get snow, but I'm just saying. Like, I think you mean 5 inches.
No, I don't. I mean 5 feet.
Be a really cool
Okay.
chase sequence where they're hiding in the snow. It's like, oh, swim, tunnel.
Oh my god. Okay. I mean, literally, all you're gonna see, like, if I go out in the snow, my character even is like the nose up to the top of my head, like, okay, all right, that's it. Sorry.
Moving beyond that, yeah.
So I guess I'm going to cautiously look around as I see the bloodiness. And if nothing seems particularly extra out of place, because, fuzzy head priorities, try to get to that water if it's not covered in blood and get some hydration going.
Fantastic. You go ahead and you go over to the pallet and you kind of rip off the plastic. It takes you maybe a good 40 seconds to get that plastic off because it's like triple sealed. But after you get through it and you grab a bottle of water, start drinking it down, it's refreshing. It's really nice. Meanwhile, in the apartments above, you are still looking at the external camera. And you have just seen the guy go off to the left of the camera and disappear off site. When you see him appear back in the left-hand corner of the camera and kind of look down the street the other way before immediately turning around and booking it again. As the 4 of them sit dumbfounded, staring at the laptop screen. A light breeze passes by.
Yep.
So I'm confused. Who ran off the screen?
The guy with the bungee corded backpack.
Oh, gotcha. Dexter just kind of glances at the others and says he's got the right idea. He's reinforcing something. We're going to have to move to a more secure location within the building, I think. Our front door isn't secure. These walls are too thin. They could potentially get a good run and bust through these walls. I don't feel comfortable here.
Well, all right. I got one thing we need to do on the way out, though. You're not gonna like it.
What is that?
Well, we need to know more about these, right?
Yeah, we've got a cop in the basement.
what's going to be easier? Dealing with the pissed off one in the basement? Or see if you can make one.
Make one.
Pointing to one of the screens, I point to one of the dead bodies in the hallway. It'd also be kind of useful to know if whatever that shit they're barfing up is, would be, well, able to bring back something already dead.
Are you saying this in front of Rachel?
Yep.
You wait a minute. Your idea is to try to make them come back, like with us around. Like that's your idea.
No, my idea is keep the damn thing at gunpoint, see if that black stuff turns him into one.
The alternative is eventually we get stuck in a room with wondering.
Oh my god! What was that? God damn it! What? What? Stop laughing! God damn it! Stop it! Stop it! That shit scared me. What is wrong with you?
What is going on?
What is wrong with you? Oh my god, that's
Outside, you heard the sound of a vehicle's tire skidding.
That's I mean, basically what happened is what Rachel would have done.
And I would have just face palmed and then remembered, oh wait, I don't have to do anything.
Oh.
So Dexter will move to the window on that side of the building if there is one.
In your apartment, no. You'd have to go to the apartment that is across the hall in order to look out where that skid came from. Of course, you have the external camera, but that's already pulled up on the laptop.
So
Can
here's
we see the vehicle on the screen?
No, the only thing you see is still like the emptied out Sherwin-Williams with just the ambient lights of the city and no one around. You can see that there's a few cars that are parked, and you can see that there's about a foot of snow on the ground at this point with the external camera. But that's all you can see with the external camera, and you know that Dexter, it's a very thin, limited view because it's trying to show you like the front door of 21 Chelsea, a little bit of the street, and up to like the midway point for the Sherwin-Williams windows, and it only gives you maybe a 45-degree angle of all of that.
Okay, so Dexter will look back towards the others and say, we've got people downstairs that we need to get. That screeching of tires outside obviously had to have been somebody that's alive outside. I say we take advantage of the relative quiet that we've got going on currently, and we get down there and bring them back up.
all right. So here's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we probably should head out of here just because if you can hear what's going on a floor down, obviously it's not very secure. We only know of one of those things in this building, so if we make our way down to the ground floor, Dexter, you're the best with firearms, you take point. Rachel, you take one of the phones and keep an eye on the cameras, specifically the one in the basement.
Okay.
I'll take up the bat, or the back, and I pick up a baseball bat and gesture towards the door.
The Amber Alert buzz starts to play from all of your phones.
I almost, like, I'm so skittish. Like, I'm just like, it's like a hot potato for a hot second in my hands, and then I catch it and I look to see what it's saying.
Okay. It says mandatory evacuation of Manhattan to take place at 11:45 a.m.
Mandatory evacu. What? I mean, at least there. She like scrolls to try to read like if there's anything else like a meet point, checkpoint, something.
They can only put so much in like the first text, so that's all they have in there right now. But a few moments later, it starts buzzing again, and it says Central Park will be the evacuation point.
Do I roughly know how far away that is?
From where you guys are, hold on, give me 1 second. You're on West 21st Street, so if I say directions from here, and then we go over to Central Park, from where you are to the tip of Central Park on West 59th Street, you're looking at 2.1 miles, so a 43-minute walk.
And we got what, like 12-ish hours?
Yeah.
So none of you are willing to carry one of the firearms. Is that what I'm hearing?
No,
I'm more likely to hurt myself than anyone else.
I mean, I can't look at.
I'll keep a shotgun on my back just to carry it, but
I mean, I'm gonna load up. I'll carry a shotgun as well because I don't want to go unarmed. But I will.
Hold on. We have
Yeah.
one shotgun, and I'm carrying the AK.
Oh, okay. So give me the bat and you take the shotgun because I'm better with a bat.
worst case scenario, I'll use the gun like a bat.
Okay. And so she's
Don't
holding.
you
the-
shake your head, Aaron.
I'm changing my mind about whether or not I'm actually going to give you this weapon.
I mean, do you want me to try?
Don't use the gun as a bat, point it and shoot things.
I meant if I run out of ammo.
Dexter will walk into a side room and reach into a bag and pull out a shoulder bandolier of shotgun shells.
All
And
right.
put it over his head. You won't run out of ammo.
All right. So gonna put that on. And I'm gonna go take the electric drill and start undoing the door. And then
Okay.
kind of gesture to Rachel. Make sure you keep an eye on that thing.
Absolutely. I will keep an eye on this thing. And I'm carrying the bat with my other hand.
So Dexter, your area knowledge kind of kicks in when you're constantly being berated with them talking about how they want to use objects to swing and aren't any good at firearms. There isn't like a sporting goods place that is extremely close, but if you go to the end of the block, you know that there's a hardware store called Cove Bros. It's like you've only been in there a few times. It's a plumbing, industrial, and maintenance supply store. And last time you were in there, it was packed full of all sorts of useful stuff and a couple things that would be useful to swing.
But I don't know this.
No,
Someone
this
else
is
does.
specifically for Dexter to know.
Okay.
Okay, noted. Dexter's keeping his mind on the prize currently. He's going to go get the two people downstairs, and then so Dexter's going to turn around and look at the two that are actually coming with him. He's going to say, "Here's the plan. We're going to go down to the second floor first. We're going to get Michael and Veronica. He points at Unicorn's character and says, "You are going to take them back up to the apartment, and then the driver and I, sorry, I don't know your name yet. The driver and I will go out front, check out what's going on out there. If there are any survivors, we will bring them up as well. When we intercept Veronica and Michael, try to get them to sweep their apartment quickly but quietly for any food or supplies. He mentioned he had climbing gear. Tell him to bring that, and then you get them back upstairs, and we will join you there shortly.
Okay. Okay.
Are we ignoring this Amber Alert?
No, but
Absolutely.
it's like 11:45 tomorrow morning. It's 11:45 right now. Like,
It is 12 hours away, but how long is it realistically going to take us if we can't just walk straight there?
There were creatures on the street not even 45 minutes ago that had elongated claws. Do you want to try to make that without having somebody come in and clear that first?
Shh.
Why am I being shushed?
What is that? What is that? Those are helicopters, guys.
So based on the fact that I am paramedic, would I be able to feasibly tell from a distance whether that's a civilian chopper or not?
I literally heard nothing.
You didn't hear?
You might have to refresh your roll 20. Give me. Hold on. Go ahead and give me a. You know, I'm not really seeing a role here that would fit this, so I'll give you this. It didn't
Basically,
sound
would I be
civilian.
able to tell is it single or
didn't.
double rotor?
That was double.
Okay, so that's either a medevac chopper or military.
In fact, now that you think about it, may have been a Chinook.
Chinooks are very distinctive sounding.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I can't get a sound file for it that sounds decent.
Do the noise again, Cabby.
Thump, 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 thump.
Pretty much.
What? I mean, what is that?
It's a double rotor chopper, but it's like the armored personnel carrier of choppers.
I would argue that is not the Chinook, but the other one that the Marines have, a CH, I think it's a 47.
You guys know way too much.
I'm not alone.
CH-47 is a Chinook, Aaron.
No, not the
Ass.
Oh god, there's another one that's more armored than the Chinook. Not the CH-47. My bad. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Dork.
Go ahead, keep going. I will figure out the name of it.
The Chinook was originally designed to transport troops and artillery.
Regardless,
there it is. CH-53E is the one that I was thinking of.
CH-53.
Yeah, it's the Sea Dragon. Is the, like, in my opinion, I think that's a little bit more armored, but it was definitely a Chinook that you heard.
Okay.
Big old double rotor. Got it.
To basically send in the troops is what I'm understanding. Is
It's
that
either to bring people in or take people out.
okay? So they're starting the evacuations in 12 hours, and it looks like things are prepping for that. Correct?
So I'm gonna kind of pull Dexter off to the side here at this point, and bring up the phone that's got the infection map, as it were. Do you buy this evacuation thing, or am I just paranoid?
they're rampant on the street at this point. I don't see an evacuation plan working unless they're just going to drop the choppers directly in Central Park with a small military force, and whoever gets there, and whoever doesn't. I don't see them bringing in troops and personnel to take care of this problem. I see them launching missiles from a very long distance.
I remember what I wanted. Aaron, you posted a picture of the world map, didn't you? Yeah, there it is. So North Carolina being yellow, I'd like to pull up. Is there an updated version of this map? Like, has it increased in spread?
So the maps that I sent you are the maps that you guys saw play over the news when the ABC stream ended, and it was replaced with a White House briefing stream.
Okay. And if I just quickly, do a search on the phone, like infection spread.
Okay, you do a search on the phone, and you're able to pull up those maps that were just shown. There isn't a live feed map or anything like that that's available to the public at this point.
And these are from how long ago?
According to the date and timestamp that are in the photos, 2 hours ago is when the maps were created.
So, I'm still kind of got Dexter off to the side. I'm like, if this was 2 hours ago and it only took 2 hours to get to this, where do you think we are? I mean, DC's not that far from any of the infection. If this spreads far enough, I don't care how many bombs they drop, they're not fixing it.
I don't think that we have the weaponry or the calm in our group to get that far that fast without being seen.
That's why I'm thinking not even mess with the evacuation and see about just pulling up somewhere.
That's what I was thinking too. Our building is securable. I've got access to the entirety of the security system, all cameras, remote door lock, all that shit I can control now.
So do I hear any of this, like any mumbling or anything like that?
Make me a spot listen.
We're whispering.
Yeah.
DC 5%.
Oh no!
Whoa!
No.
You don't hear shit.
You are oblivious.
I'm just like holding this cell phone, like just staring at that stupid officer guy, like down in the basement, like glued or something.
So he continues on and says, we can secure this building and control it remotely. I don't think that there's a better place that we could be. The problem is the unwanted guest in the basement has to be dealt with. In addition, we got to find a more secure room. I'm thinking either the security room, which is at the very least going to have a metal door. I don't know if the walls are going to be any better. I would hope that they would be. But at the very least, it'll have a metal door on it. And we'll be able to monitor all of the cameras from there. So I'm thinking that we bring everybody upstairs initially, and then we formulate a plan to get rid of the asshole in the basement and move ourselves to that security room once we pack up all the supplies in the apartment. It's a democracy, people.
Well, I don't hear any of it, so I can't really.
I can't recall. How defensible did we decide the ground floor was on this place? I know you said there were 2 steel doors, side and back, and then the front was, you said glass?
The front is tempered glass, and the front door itself, it's essentially an airlock system with there's a large double door, and then you have the security gate that can be lowered behind that. And then after a very, very short walk, there's another set of double doors to get out the front door.
So
Okay.
pretty defensible.
And no other windows on the ground floor aside from that?
All the windows in the first floor apartments. And to be clear, there are 4 first floor apartments. There's because one side of the first floor is taken up by the security room.
So we'll ballpark 3 windows in apartment.
For the first floor, hold on.
What are you guys talking about over there? I mean, if it's something important, I think I should know too.
Yeah, 3 windows in apartment. So there are 6 windows in the front of the building next to the front door. And then the other 6 windows are in the back alley.
Okay, so I am going to, as calmly as possible, if I need to do a calm other check, I will, to the 2 nurses, be like, you know, with how quickly this is spreading and how bad it is already, getting to the evacuation probably isn't going to work.
I mean, what are you suggesting? We're gonna stay here then? Like, I mean, I don't, no offense or anything, but though this apartment, I mean, yeah, we have food and stuff, but we don't have it for that long. Like,
So, I'm gonna general, you know, driving in New York City for however long. Would I know if there are any more readily defensible buildings near, within a few blocks, something that doesn't have first floor windows, for example?
There is not to your knowledge. Not around here, unfortunately.
Look, people, we've got a good chance on the first floor here. We've got remote door locks on all the doors. We've got metal doors everywhere that they need to be. We can block off the windows in the apartments and the doors on the apartments. And we can hunker down in the security room or in the basement once we get rid of that asshole if we need to. There's a Trader Joe's right next door. Considering the situation, there's no safer place to be than right here.
I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of safer places to be than where we're at right now.
And where would that be?
Well, she saw the maps from the announcement as well, right, Erin? Like, she had seen the maps.
Yeah, everybody's seen the maps.
The center of this country, like, nothing over there has been affected at all.
Look, you're talking about having to run, not walk, run for 45 minutes through the inner city while there's like fucking Amber Alerts and pandemoniums. The sirens might be going off at the time, who knows? Those things are going to be out there picking people off one at a time as they run. Now, I'm going to sit in this place and I'm going to eat some fucking ramen behind these doors and watch the cameras while everybody outside is running for their lives. You choose.
As he says you choose, the camera pans out the window and makes its way around to the front of the building and comes down onto Kira standing in front of that pallet of water.
It's still from their POV though, right? Like still their scene, or is it?
No, it's your scene at this point.
All right, that's a transition. My bad. That was stuff from the perspective. All right. So chug, drink. All right. I guess I just try to I gotta hold a shotgun. Damn it! I just try to awkwardly take 3 or 4 bottles with me. Do that thing where you get your shirt and you fold it upwards to hold stuff, while holding the shotgun with unreadily, ready to drop it if I need to, and just start walking around like a limpy old man.
Okay.
I
You start
will
walking
move-
around, and you quickly notice, the large double doors of 21 Chelsea. It looks like it's actually a pretty nice apartment. So you're guessing more than likely higher middle class, maybe lower rich side, possibly. This is Sherwin-Williams across the street that's got a busted window open though.
All right. Well, that could mean any number of things. Okay. Is there anything?
The ambulance and the truck are still
That's true.
out front.
Good point.
I wanted to ask about that, but I don't want to be meta.
there's an ambulance that's currently closed up. Looks like it's been untouched. There's also a white typical pedo van that's in front of that ambulance, and it's got like a few sprays of blood here and there on it, but there's no bodies around it. And in front of that is a police car that looks like it's been completely looted. The trunk looks like it's been opened, and there's a bunch of like zip tie cuffs and traffic cones and evidence baggies that have strewn out onto the snow behind it. The doors, the two front doors are open, and just it looks completely stripped.
Okay. So I see the ambulance. I'm like, cool. And as I notice, right next to it is the suspicious van. I suddenly like almost like panic and drop the water bottles and like catch it and like try to like not hyperventilate. And I'm start panically looking around and I see the apartment and start trying to scurry towards these doors. I want inside this building.
All right. You start scurrying over towards the doors. And as you do, the scene then takes a quick flip back upstairs, where on the laptop with the external camera, you watch as could you explain yourself what you look like one more time as this woman comes on in view?
Yep. You see a girl. She looks like a young adult. It's black and white, I figure. So good luck with that. She seems pretty thin, not particularly athletic, and she seems to be awkwardly just like hunched over like an old man with a jacket on, just trying to like get inside. Looks really panicked. She saw something off screen and then started freaking out, and now she wants in this building.
And she's awkwardly holding a shotgun and water bottles.
Yep.
So who has the laptop between the three of us?
I'm assuming that it's sitting on the kitchen island, like facing you guys.
Yes, exactly.
Guys, look. And she points at the laptop.
Ah, fuck.
Dexter looks over at a cabbie and says, "Could be another patient 0."
But no, look, she's got a gun. The other guy didn't have a gun.
I would like to do a detect motives to see if this person down there looks like they're suspicious of, like aggressively trying to get in the door, or if they're panicking for safety.
Absolutely. Make me a detect motive.
And I am going to spend 2 competence points.
Okay, that'll bring you to 1 success. What would you say her visual expressions look like as she's trying to get into the door?
There is a lack of finesse. It is really, I don't want to say sloppy, but it's to the point that she is panicky. Her movements aren't going to be fluid. They're going to be much more square or sharp or direct. Like she's just like,
Jerky?
just like just more scared, if anything.
The shotgun is bigger than she is.
So I'm going to look over towards Dexter. You do what I do long enough, you know when someone is in trouble. We need to get down there now, because
Let's go.
if she wakes up that other thing before we do. So I'm going to pull the last board off the door, take one last look through the peephole and then swing the door open. How do I put it? I'm not gonna like whip it open, but with enough force that it doesn't do that obnoxious creak.
Yeah. You're assertive in opening the door.
And then I am going to, with shotgun shouldered, stick my head out, look down either direction of the hall.
And
Spot
Dexter
listen.
will look down the other side.
Spot listen from both of you, yeah.
I am watching police zombie guy in the phone. Oh,
Jesus.
Wow. Cabby. Hallway
So I'm
looks
looking
clear.
down. I'm looking down the right.
Yeah, right side looks clear. Dexter, left side clear. What else would you like to know with your 3 successes?
The stairwell specifically going down. We're going to move directly to the stairwell, and Dexter's going to listen down the stairwell and try to determine if he can hear anything upwards or downwards within that stairwell.
Nothing. You're good.
Okay. He'll look back at the other 2 and say, "This is a rare opportunity. We need to go now. Keep your footsteps light." And then they'll start heading down.
Okay. You guys begin to
All
head
right.
down.
At this point, I'm gonna, as we're running down the steps, suggest to Dexter, with that chick at the front door, we don't got time to stop on floor 2. We'll hit them back up once we get everything secured.
Yeah, we need to keep her from raising.
and
the
I'm
attention of anybody.
Yeah, and we look back at Rachel, see, what's that thing doing?
so I'm looking to see what the police officer in the laundry room in the basement is doing.
So you're watching him, and he's still watching that load in the dryer, or not the dryer, but the wash machine. And you can see that it has 1:30 left on the timer, on the digital timer for the wash machine.
Oh Jesus! The washing machine has 1:30 seconds left. We have to hurry.
We're out the door. Get the fuck out here.
I'm moving along.
I thought we
moving
were all
as I'm
moving down the
saying this.
steps already.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're moving.
So you guys move
All
down.
right,
And
going all the way to the first floor.
Yeah, we're not stopping. I've cleared it pretty much all the way down, so we get all the way up to the door that leads into the first floor, and Dexter is going to crack it open about 2 inches first and look down, and then if he doesn't see anything immediately, we'll do the same thing we did on the upstairs door: is pull it open aggressively so it doesn't creak.
Did we take Megan the nurse with us?
You look behind. Nurse Silvers is behind you with like one of the
that's
one of the shelves that Cabby unscrewed from the doorway in hand,
Okay.
awkwardly as a weapon.
Okay, great.
Keep forgetting she exists.
Poor Nurse Silvers.
All right, so getting down to the main lobby, I am going to make my way over to the front door
Mhm.
and, kind of sling the gun around to the side and just do everything I can to calm them with making as little noise as possible.
You get down to the front door, and the two of you immediately see each other as you get there. So this is where I open up the scene to everyone involved. Kira, you see, and Cabby, if you could describe your character for the audience, and also Kira, as you come to view for her.
So I'm, 5'5", blonde hair, red beard, glasses, well, contacts at this point, but
Not scary or intimidating at all.
exactly. No, head to toe navy blue EMS uniform.
Excuse me.
An
That's about
actual
it.
weapon on his back, a bat in his hand.
No. Rachel's got the bat.
Yeah, I have the bat.
Okay.
And I've got the gun slung around to my back, so I've got both hands up, kind of in a, Oh, hold on. I'm assuming she can't really hear more than a muffled sound through the door.
Correct. Through the airlock system of the door,
Right.
You just barely hear like the muffled sounds of this individual.
So I'm just gonna have my hands up, kind of like whoa, and put a finger up to my lips and just trying to signify be quiet.
Yeah, immediately shush that teen female.
Yeah. As Rachel comes down, you would see a nurse in nursing scrubs as well. She's got like a white undershirt on underneath it because it's cold out. But hers is also navy blue, matching cabbies. She's got long black hair that's tied up, and she looks to be like in her 20s, mid to late 20s, and she's also bringing a finger to her lips and saying, to be quiet while she's looking on a cell phone, and she's carrying the hand with the bat comes up and she holds the bat, but like tries to shush with like a finger to her lips while she's looking at the cell phone.
Okay.
So I guess as I see the two male characters, I actually freak out a little more and would actually drop a water bottle. It makes this acoustic concussive sound. And, when I see the girls, I get a little more chill, but I'm just like at the edge of vision of this door. I'm just having a good day. Having a good time.
I feel like it's necessary for Aaron to post the picture of Cabby and Rachel right now because it's pretty awesome. Because it is
Basically it.
it's basically it. I'm not even joking. It's got red hair for him.
God.
Yeah,
give me. Why is there a face up by that dude's crotch though?
What?
Oh God. Well, okay, I can tell you why there is a face there. One of two reasons. Whichever one you want to buy. Number
Okay.
one, either this is the usual, EMS shenanigans that we all get up to with each other, or middle of a cardiac arrest, we all just decided, pose, take a picture, and the guy that we're doing CPR on just happened to wake up and go, "Oh, cool, cheese."
Photo ops.
Fantastic. Give me one. The screen's gonna look a little broken for our viewers here, you're not gonna see any. There we go. So yeah, it's because I haven't reset up the second live thing. My bad. But there's the photo.
Full beard.
There's the photo you're looking for, folks. All
right. Oh God,
Jumping back over.
It's a gem. It's a gem.
You're welcome.
Oh Lord.
So at this point, I'm gonna make my way through the first door of the airlock and kind of get over to her, gesturing for Rachel to come with me.
Yeah, she's gonna follow, but she's looking at the phone. She's watching it.
And then give that to Dexter. You calm her. I got something I gotta do. So I'm gonna open the outer door, kind of pull the girl in, and then I am immediately going to slip out the door.
So
the ambulance.
Sorry to interrupt, but the moment you make contact with me, I'm gonna let out a scream of panic.
No.
Can I do a calm person check to try and stifle this?
Do a lap player check.
That too.
Go ahead and make me a calm person, and I would like for Kira to go ahead and make me a composure with, I believe, 5 black dice.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right. I'm gonna spend 3 competence points before I even do anything here.
You spend 3, so right now you're sitting on 3 successes.
Yep.
do. Yep, composure and saving throws. Okay, cool. So just click composure and then.
1 success.
So you're at 1 success, Cabby, to calm other.
So do I put 5 black on dice pool before I click composure, or how do I do this?
Yeah, you go over to the dice pool, you put the 5 black dice in there, and then
Okay.
you go ahead and hit the composure. I do believe that should do it.
Rachel would also try to calm her as well. Like if she's also approaching, she would also attempt to calm.
Sure, you may go ahead. Would you like to spend competency ahead of time?
Yes, we're gonna do 3.
Okay.
Did I don't think I see the black dice. Did I do that? Did I have 5 selected in my character sheet?
Is it calm other?
You know, I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
okay.
honest. I don't know if it rolled the black dice or not. I'm not sure.
Did I do it correctly?
Yeah, I think that
I guess I think I have to click dice pool to get it to drop.
okay.
I spent 3 and
You spent 3, so you
more.
end up with just a flat there. Okay, so we are looking at just an absolute, because of the success that we ended up with for Cabby. You go ahead and take Kira's negative, and that brings her to a flat. So you let out a quick yelp, but you're able to quickly compose yourself.
Teary-eyed.
You have to be quiet. There is one in the building. We're dealing with it. Go with them.
And
I
I'm looking on the phone. What is dude doing in the basement?
15-second timer left.
Okay,
All
15 seconds. 15. And I look back at Dexter and I'm like,
Dexter will point and say, "You guys go, 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 go."
upstairs, I'm assuming.
Yes, he's pointing
Okay.
back up the stairs. He says, "I'll be right behind you." Dexter is going to run towards the security room.
Mhm.
He's going to cautiously move up and just jab the bodies that are on the floor with the tip of his firearm.
There's only the one body on the floor, and that's the disemboweled security officer.
Okay, so still, we're going to jab him with the muzzle a couple times.
Okay.
If I'm satisfied he's not moving, I'm going to move past him. I'm going to pop my head into the security room, look around real quick. What are the interior walls made of? I'm wondering.
They look similar to your apartment. However, go ahead and make me a search check.
I'd like to spend some competency points on that.
Sure. How many would you like to spend?
2 for a single success.
Fantastic. So with that single success, you notice that the walls are quite a bit thicker here. And you vaguely remember that when your real estate agent was selling you on the place and selling you on the security office, she said something about the walls being reinforced in the security office.
Okay, cool.
And of course, you see there's the still closed and locked with a padlock gun safe that's in the room that holds what looks like 3 pistols, and you can see a couple boxes of ammo for 45 caliber and a few both full and empty magazines.
Okay, I'm gonna stuff those in a pocket real fast, as quick as I can.
You'd have to break the lock on it.
Oh, okay. So it's I can just see into it.
Yeah, it's like a mesh cage that sits off to the left of the room, and it's got like a very simple padlock on it.
Okay.
It sits no more than a foot off the ground.
Last thing I'm gonna do in this room before I go running up the stairs after them is I'm gonna glance at the servers in the room, and I'm gonna make sure that they're all turned on. If they're not, I'm gonna push the power button on all of them to make
Okay.
sure that they are all powered on.
So there are 30 screens in the room that are kind of up on the walls, and they just show every camera in the building. And of course, you can see that the ham radio in the security office is on, but it's got headphones jacked into it. So you're not sure if it's got a signal right now or anything.
So while he's doing this, I've already I've pushed past the girl that we let into the building, and I am heading over to the ambulance.
Okay.
She's going to, in passing, she's going to tell Dexter that Cabby went out of the building and is at the ambulance.
Okay, and Dexter would respond, "Okay, don't worry about him. I'll make sure he gets upstairs. You guys get up there right now."
There's a very, very barely audible that comes from downstairs.
So she is going to look at Kira. She's going to look at Kira and she's going to be like, let's get upstairs. There's one downstairs. We just need to get upstairs. We have a secure place up there. We can talk when we get up there, okay?
I just give you a confused look, and I just shakingly reach down for the water bottle that dropped, pick it up, and just start, walking towards you.
Oh, we're not walking. We're quickly hurrying.
Like kind of like a hobble, a walkie hobble.
All right. So the two of you start making your way upstairs, and you push past Nurse Silvers as she's like sitting there with a light quiver. And she quickly begins to make her way up the stairs with you guys behind you, the shelf plank still in her hands. All right, Cabby, you go outside. It's a little bit nippier, and it's a mix of sleet and snow falling down. But the ambulance truck is sitting there. It doesn't look like it's been touched. And this is where I ask you, because I wouldn't know this sort of thing. Do you guys lock the ambulance when you get out of it?
The fact that people in my personal company have had their ambulances stolen, yes, it's protocol.
Okay, good to know.
So I am going to go to the front passenger side door.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take a quick look around just to make sure there's nothing obvious.
Sure, spot listen.
I need to be concerned. Come on. The goddamn fucking.
Would you like to spend competency to make that a null?
No, but can I bullshit my way through it?
Absolutely. Go right ahead. However,
All right.
because you rolled 3 failures, I'm going to have you take 1 mechanical failure.
1 mechanical failure. How does that work?
So a mechanical failure is like you slip and fall, and
Gotcha.
maybe you bruise yourself while
Yep,
you're doing something,
All right, so I am going to make my way over to the passenger side door and moving just a little bit too quick. I'm going to slide. My shins are going to, wind up smashing into the running board,
Mhm.
the steel running board on the side. And it's going to be definitely noticeable to the point where it's going to be just a little bit harder for me to move.
So mechanically, how that's going to work is your current damage threshold takes like 1 hit to it.
All right.
So it doesn't take much to recover your damage threshold, just a little bit of time.
How do I change that?
For now, write it like we did with symptoms.
Psyche.
Or psyche. Write it in the symptoms.
Is there a way that I can
So
remote
it's 6.
basement door from the security room?
I'm sorry, what was that? Is there a way to what with the security door?
Is there a way to lock the basement door from the security room?
There, not from the security room, but you do know that the security officer has keys to the basement because
I'm
it's
gonna-
locked after usually 10:30 at night.
Okay, I'm gonna walk immediately out of the room, and then because I was only in there, I looked around briefly. So they're probably still making their way up that first set of stairs by this
Mhm.
point, because I did not. I mean, I wanted to stress that I only spent maybe 20 seconds in that room,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So I walk back out, immediately go back to the body that I had nudged. I believe that that's a security guard.
Mhm.
I'm gonna rifle through his pockets, take any keys that he might have, and I'm gonna try to take any security badges he might have that are proximity or swipe readers
The
for doors.
security badge is the easiest to find. It's on one of those string clippers on his belt. But make me a search check for his keys.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I still had to give you my two bullshit reasons for why I couldn't see.
And I'll spend 2 competency points to bring that to 1 success.
Okay, so you quickly realize the keys aren't actually on him, and you look around very quickly, and you figure he probably had them in his hands, and they have slid into the corner of the doorway of the security office, and they're kind of tucked away in the corner of the door, and you quickly grab those.
Yep, grab them. I look on the wall. There should be. I'm assuming here, but usually in rooms like this, there's like a fire exit strategy posted on the wall
Mhm.
with a map of the floor. Is there anything like that in here?
There is. So there is the fire exit strategy is basically for every floor above one to take the fire escape that is on the side of the building that has the door that leads out to the Trader Joe's. And for the first floor, it's either to go out the side, back, or front door if they're available.
Okay, I look at that map and I'm looking for where the location of the basement door.
It says that the basement door is in the stairwell if you keep going down, and you know that.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to, as I start moving to follow the girls, I'm going to start rifling through these keys and see if any of them are marked,
Okay,
like B for basement, anything like that.
gotcha.
What
So you
about
start rifling through those keys. Go ahead.
do
And he
I
is there. Go ahead, Ava.
well do I hear him coming up the stairs?
No, so from the time it would take you to get her and then start going up the stairs, you briefly catch a glimpse of him as he's coming back out of the security officer, and he bends over towards the security officer when you are now like halfway up the first set of
Sh-
stairs.
So before she loses sight of him, she's gonna whisper again, "Don't forget Cabby," and then she's gonna go.
So while
Okay.
all that's going on,
Mhm.
yeah, no, so I can't see for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's dark. Number 2, it's snowing like a bitch out here if there's 5 feet of snow.
It's not 5 feet of snow yet. It's just the first foot of snow has hit, and
God,
it's sleeting and raining at this point.
if there's going to be 5 feet of snow, there's a lot of fucking snow coming down.
That is very
Can't
true.
see shit. All right, so I am going up to the passenger side. I am using the key to manually open the door so that I don't, light up the headlights or anything. I am going to crawl in and gently just kind of pull the door so it's not completely latched, but isn't going to swing open.
Mhm.
And then I am going to crawl through into the back of the ambulance.
Okay. You go ahead and do that, and all the equipment's back there.
All right, so I am going to grab my keys, unlock the narcotics cabinet.
Mhm.
I am going to pull my BLS bag, my ALS bag out. I am
Okay.
going to grab all of my spare monitor batteries. I'm grabbing both backup radios and all of their batteries, plus a charger for both the radio batteries and monitor batteries.
Okay.
I'm taking all of those, stuffing them into the large jump kit,
Okay.
which has a fair amount of, just basic first aid, everything, up to starting IVs and whatnot.
And for those of us who don't know, what does a jump kit look
So
like?
a jump kit, let's see if I can find you a picture. Jump kit is essentially, it's also called a house kit.
Mhm.
It is somewhere between a backpack and duffel bag that is just jam-packed full of everything you need to potentially run up to multiple cardiac arrests, any traumas, things like that. I'm trying to see if I can find the ones that we carry that I'm familiar with.
So is it like that bag that the EMS carry into the location when they're called onto a scene?
It is.
Guys, I need like
they-
2 minutes. I'll be right back.
That's fine. Yeah, go ahead.
They are.
Oh, here's a question. Do you I don't know if you would have brought this in with you, but do you carry like that essentially medical iPad that I see EMSs with every once in a while?
Not usually. We either carry a laptop or a phone. Since I had no need to document, I wouldn't have the laptop with me. Don't need
Okay.
it. Copy image address. There is roughly what they look like. And they carry tons of shit.
Got it.
All right. And I will throw this image up for our lovely viewers real quick. 1 second. I forget that I need to do the open original. Yep. There we go. That's what it looks like for our viewers.
So I am going to sling that onto my back. I am going to reach down and grab the narcotics box, which is basically just a big tackle box full of all the drugs we carry. And I am also going to grab the monitor.
Okay.
And I am then going to hop out the side door of the ambulance, which is in the back. And I am just going to leave that sucker. Actually, no, I'm going to hop out the side door because there's no way I'm getting any of this stuff out the front.
All right.
And then I am just going to kind of work my way back with my back up against the door and close it until I just hear a click. And then I'm going to make my way back to the door.
Off in the distance, you don't see where it comes from, but you hear.
What?
I hear what?
You hear the sound of what sounds like broken glass being stepped on, and it's loud.
Ballpark, how far away?
Your best estimate?
Am I thinking blocks or am I thinking feet?
You're thinking just at the end of the block.
Hold on. There's snow on the ground, and we would still hear crunching of glass.
He would hear the crunching of glass.
Fuck your logic, Aaron.
Yeah.
All right.
I know where there's crunching of glass. Cabby doesn't.
So I'm gonna hear the crunching, and I am gonna slow down, kind of hunker down, look that direction. I'm not gonna keep moving full speed, but I am gonna continue to like kind of crouch walk.
Spot listen.
I'm gonna spend 4.
You can only spend up to 3.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm spending 3 then.
Okay, that brings you 1 success. You actually get a glimpse of 3 individuals in heavy coats. And one of them is like stepping up into the window of Trader Joe's.
All right. From where I am to where they are,
You've
is
got a decent
there?
distance. They probably haven't noticed you.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my way quickly, but I'm gonna stay low, back to the front door.
Okay. As you begin to make your way back to the front door, you can faintly hear the sound of cracking glass as the second one begins to step up into the window.
So, Aaron, as Dexter is getting ready to leave that security room, he stops and remembers something that he had thought of previously. He's going to turn back around and he's going to check, is there a generator in the security room?
Unfortunately, there is not. But as you stop and think about that, man, this store keeps coming to mind. The Cove Bros store had 2 generators in the front glass, just down the street.
Perfect. He's gonna check. He's gonna real quick check because she told him where Cabby had gone. He's gonna check the front door camera and also the basement camera where that cop was and make sure that he's still there currently.
Okay. You
All
check
right.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, as I make my way up to the front door, I've got an idea of how to solve multiple problems in one go. Is there a doorstop on the front door, like one of the flip down ones?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna swing the front door open. I am going to flip that down. I'm gonna make my way to the second one, open that door, flip that doorstop down, so there's a clear shot out the front door.
Okay.
And then-
and you catch Cabby on camera just as he's going through the first set of doors.
Quick question, Aaron. I'm sorry, I missed the name of the shop that had the 2 generators on it.
It's Cove Bros. Give me 1 second.
Cove, like COVE.
KOVE.
Okay.
1 second. Give me a second to go over to the shop. Cove Bros Hardware.
All right, so as soon as I come through that second set of doors, what's the layout again? Like, is the security office right in front of me?
No. So the layout is as soon as you come through the first set of doors, you have a tiny bit of a hallway that goes to your left, and there's the second set of doors. Then you have the open space where there's the concierge desk, which the concierge you haven't seen, and it's empty. There's like these see-through but make it kind of blurry curtains that sit behind the concierge desk, where you can see the 2 elevator doors. And to the right of the elevator doors is the dead body of the security officer, and to the left of him is the door entering into the security office.
Okay, so I'm gonna make my way in. Where do I run into Dexter at?
You would see him as soon as you step into the hallway itself, at right when you step past the concierge desk.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna still very quietly. Have you locked the basement yet?
He shakes his head no.
And I'm just gonna gesture follow me and make my way into the security office. And we are going to hunker down, lock the door, and then I'm gonna pull out my phone and text Rachel. Stay where you are, stay quiet.
Have we
You're in the stairwell on the 7th floor at this point.
Okay.
It takes longer to get upstairs than it does to get down. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So stay where I am and stay quiet.
Mhm.
Okay. So she's going to come to a halt, and she's going to motion for Kira to, stay quiet and everything. She's looking at the camera still.
So both of you, Dexter and Rachel, the basement camera is now just an empty washroom.
So
Okay.
my plan here is that the sound of breaking glass out in the street from the looters is going to attract the guard or the cop out of the building. 2 birds, 1 stone, ideally.
In the downstairs security office, you guys closed the door, right?
Yep, door's
Okay.
closed and locked.
All right. So you guys hear very faintly. Let's see if the sound will play. It will not. So let me try this one.
What? Okay, that did something.
Why is Roll20 breaking for me?
Because it's broken.
Yeah. Jukebox broken today.
Got it.
So you guys hear an alarm off in the distance. The audience, unfortunately, can't hear it because Roll20's borked for me.
All right. And I'm gonna back up and look at the monitors and see if I can find where that cop is at this point.
You start flipping through the monitors, and you come to the hallway first floor monitor, and you watch as he begins stepping into the hallway, and he kind of looks around and begins to make his way towards the concierge desk. And he goes to the double doors, and you have to flip cameras again to get to the exterior camera. And well, you guys are in the office, so you guys can see all the cameras up on the wall.
Yep.
But you see his head appear in the bottom corner of the outside doorway, and then he just starts sprinting in that direction.
So he sprints out the front.
Yep. Make me spot listen.
Okay.
The two of you.
Yep.
Well, the three of you, if also Rachel's looking at the cameras.
Yes, I am looking at the cameras. Hold on.
Ooh.
I'm also gonna spend 3 competency points.
I'm gonna refresh my Roll20 real quick here. See if I can get these sounds working for the audience.
So we got
And
4, 3, and 2.
Yeah, 2 successes. Whoo.
Okay. Alright. So, with all of your successes, you all managed to see, as the cop sprints out of view, you watch as 2 other infected individuals go by the camera. They look, quote unquote, as normal as the infected without claws look. And they're heading towards the alarm. And faintly in the security room, you guys hear, "Oh shit!"
Faintly.
What?
Oh, it would
Like way out the looters.
Way out.
Oh.
So Dexter will, with a panicked look on his face, look over at Cabby and say, "What did you do?"
So
he's gonna say there might still be lingers in the apartments, and they're gonna come running down this way. Are the girls out of the stairwell?
And I don't know if I ever got a text back from.
No, she. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, now that she.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be like, they are hunkered down. This was our only shot. And I'm gonna point at the extra 2 that sprinted out. And can I use one of my extra successes to see if, do I notice any other movement on any of the monitors I'm looking at?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna wait for those 2 to make their way out the front door. Where are the other 2? Floors?
You're talking about the 2 that are in their apartment, or the 2 in the or the 3 of them in the stairwell?
What?
Hold on, let's not confuse things.
Yes, you are confusing me really quick. Sorry.
So you said there's a total of 3 zombies.
Oh yeah. All 3 of them are disappeared in that direction.
Okay, they're all out the door already.
Only the cop is the one that went out the door. The other 2 came from outside already.
Oh! I gotcha. I thought they were coming from other places in the building.
No, that's why I got confused there. My bad.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna just take a breath. I'm gonna set down the jump kit and the drug box and the monitor, and I'm gonna sling the gun around again and just gesture for Dexter to follow me. I'm gonna swing the door open and start making my way to the front door.
Yep, we'll start pulling those.
Unprop them, pull down the security gate as quietly as possible.
Do I see any of this happening on the cameras? Do I?
Absolutely, you would see what what Cabby's doing right now. Unfortunately, the only way to put down the security gate is either in the security room or with the laptop upstairs that has the admin access.
And
I'm
did
sorry,
we
I
want
thought it
to
was
do
like a
that?
manual pull
No,
down.
it's not a manual pull. It's an automatic.
Okay. So I would still, at this point, I wouldn't gesture for Dexter to follow me. I'd be like, wait for me to get the doors closed, then I'm gonna.
In fact, make me a spot listen as you're at the door and you look there quickly to see if it's manual at all.
Wow.
Nice. So what you can see is there's actually a panel up by the gate system that is screwed into place with a Phillips head screwdriver. And from what you've experienced with these things, if you unscrew that, there's usually a manual. There's a manual pull system there that you can
Alright.
work. You just have to unscrew it.
All right, so I'm gonna go over, pull the doorstop on the outer door, and I've still got the little electric screw gun on me. Reach up, unzip that.
I will go ahead and push the button to have the thing come down automatically.
Okay.
And then
Wait. I think it's a player kind of thing. I'm not sure if you guys remember or not. We had this conversation, or the characters had this conversation of if we were going to bring the gate down, because it would be a telltale sign that somebody was still in the apartment.
The gate.
Or if what?
The gate is behind the doors.
Yes.
The gate is behind the
visible-
first set of doors.
And visible from the street, so people would know that somebody pulled the gate down, especially like that teenager boy guy that was controlling all the zombies. So we had had this conversation in character last session of possibly not doing that because it would be a sign that we were here. So I didn't know if you guys are changing that now on the fly or what.
At this point, kind of in the heat of the moment, just based off of, we just had 3 of these things haul ass past us. I am purely looking at this from we need to get things shut now.
And
okay.
So let me interject here. Aaron, when you say the gate is behind the first 2 doors, okay, so it's between the outer doors and the first set of doors, correct?
Correct. So it's essentially the front doors themselves have like a very brief airlock system where you have the double doors that are outside in the street. Then you have the security gate directly behind that. There's a small hallway that goes to the left, and then the next set of double doors is there.
Okay, so can you see the gate from the street?
You would be able to, yes.
Okay. Are there lights in that room that we can shut off?
Like the middle section? You're talking about the middle section. Okay.
In the airlock.
In the airlock? Yeah. There is.
Okay, we're gonna turn those lights off to make it harder to see.
Okay.
In from the outside.
So the light in the airlock is actually on the same line as the central chandelier piece that is in the concierge, up above the concierge desk. So when you flip that switch next to the desk, it turns off those lights as well.
I never knew that Dexter was fucking loaded. Lives in a building with their own concierge. God damn.
You did it right, kid. You did it right. So, as this loud alarm's happening, I'm not saying I'm going to be like inconvenient particularly, but obviously this I'm already on high alert, so it just gets kind of like shaky, and I just like look directly at, I believe, Rachel, right? And then I say, now I gotta do a voice. Damn it! All right, the big moment. now I say, what's going on?
Oh yeah, and she'll pan over the phone camera, and it'll show the guys basically closing off the gate to the outside and stuff like that. And then she's gonna, seeing this happen, she's gonna start picking up her stuff and encouraging Kira to start moving up to the 8th floor to finish the rest of the trek. And as they're walking, as they're moving, if she agrees to move, she's gonna explain. So, were you aware of this, like an infection going on recently? Like what?
So after you say recently, I cut you off with like, wait, what? Why are you closing the gate? Are you trying to kidnap me? What's going on here?
Oh,
Just, like,
oh no,
putting
no,
my back to the
no,
wall.
no.
Who are you people?
No. Would she have a cell phone on her?
You're
No.
using one. Oh,
No,
No.
she
I'm having a-
have a cell phone on her to have gotten the warnings and such before.
No. I'm just saying no.
A teenage girl without a cell phone? I'm calling bull.
Bro, I'm 19. Shit.
Well,
It's a rough neighborhood. Shit.
so she's
Shit.
so Rachel's kind of like so apparently there's an infection that came out of Africa and it's spread across the world. And it's turning people into, for lack of a better word, monsters. And you're in a safe place. I'm a nurse, and she shows her badge, and it actually, I mean, it's very clear. It says like RN on it, and it says her name, has her picture, like location of where she works and stuff like that. And she says the other two, one of them is an EMS tech, and then the other gentleman is one of the residents here in this building. Me and Cabby were coming here to test individuals because we had at the hospital found out a test to identify who had this virus and who didn't have this virus. So when we came here, everything just went, for lack of a better word, to shit. And we had to hurry up and buckle down in Dexter's place. And Dexter's the guy with the shotgun. Or I'm sorry, the rifle. And so she we're not trying to kidnap you by any means, but we saw that you were out there alone by yourself, and you were clearly panicked and concerned, and you didn't look like you were any of the ones that we have seen run across the street or anything like that. So we clearly wanted to help you. But I mean, if you want to go back out there, I would strongly advise against it. I mean, we have food, we have shelter here, but I don't want to keep you here if you want to keep running.
You're a nurse, right? And I reached like the back of my head where I remember blood, and I just started like showing you I don't know if it's cold enough to start kind of freezing the blood, but
Oh Jesus! Are you all right? Like, how did this happen?
You look at where, because she's now turned around, you can see it's not actually her blood. There are fragments of glass that are like caught in her clothing in the back there, and she's got a light bruise back there, but the blood isn't hers.
Okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't look like it's yours or anything like that. It looks like you kind of have some trauma back here, but nothing that won't heal over. Here, let's get you upstairs into the apartment. We can talk more up there. And I mean,
okay.
unless you don't want to go.
Sure. One more question. Who's she? And I point to the NPC that never gets love.
I'm Nurse Silvers. I'm her colleague. Can we get out of the stairwell now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And then I just follow them upstairs like a good little girl.
There's like a
Cabby, I love you that you know what
conversation.
Sweet Home is.
You're welcome. I remember reading the comic.
So do I.
Those were fucked up. So while this is all going on upstairs, I am going to, we've got the front door blocked,
Mhm.
lights are off. Make the way back to the security office, I'm going to give one of the radios to Dexter. Because even if the whole system's down, they still do connect to each other over about 150-foot distance usually. I am going to keep the other two on my belt. I am going to go grab all of my gear, the jump kit, the drug box, and the monitor, and be like, I'll carry this, you lead the way. Stop on 2 and get those 2.
Dexter is going to shake his head and he says, I was just in the security room. I recall that they mentioned that both the door and the walls in there are reinforced. The better plan, I need you to go up, leave your shit here. I need you to go up and just gather the others. I know that they just made the trek back upstairs, but you're going to
How
need their
big's this
numbers.
room?
Sorry, how big is the security room, you asked?
Yeah.
It's roughly the size of like 2.5 apartments.
Okay, so it's pretty good size.
Yeah,
Then.
it's a pretty good size.
And it's probably got a small break area and stuff where you can
What we
sit
figure,
down.
like
Oh,
1,000 square feet.
speaking of break,
somewhere around there. Yep.
Okay.
For 2 apartments? I guess it is New York. So Dexter mentions to him, we're going to move everybody to the security room. So if you would, go back up, get the rest, have everybody's stuff, all the food, supplies, everything that they can, bring them back down to the security room. I'm going to go up a floor, hit 2, and I'll bring Veronica and Michael back with me once I do some clearing.
I was gonna say, all I'll do is I'll just text up to the girls, be like, grab all the food you can, bring it down to floor 1. Building is clear. And
I'd hold out my hand when he's typing because I'm kind of watching him text, and I say, "We don't know that yet. I want to walk every apartment."
Okay. As you say, we don't know that yet. That's where we're gonna cut it for the first break, and we will be right back. See you soon, folks. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, year zero. All right, getting back into things. We pick up with that text message pinging off of Rachel's phone from Cabby. I think you said you're the one who sent it, or did Dexter send it?
So I was in the middle of typing when he mentioned that, and be like, all right, I will let them know we're gonna do this quietly, and then we will sweep floor by floor, starting at the bottom.
Dexter will head towards the door of the stairwell, and he'll say, "I'm going to get Veronica and Michael now."
All right. So at this point, I'm gonna take the time and go through and find a place where we can start storing all of the different equipment. Try and keep it organized, and so that we can kind of catalog everything we've got.
Is there a toilet in that security area?
No.
There are 5-gallon buckets somewhere in the building.
Absolutely.
Problem solved.
Disgusting.
You do recall that the most dangerous time in any zombie apocalypse
It's when you're sitting
Go to the
down on the
bathroom.
toilet. Yeah.
What do you think dogs guard you now when you go drop a number 2? They stand in the doorway to protect you. They know it's coming.
All right. So,
All right, so Dexter will head up the stairs, still being quiet, and he's going to same method as before. He's going to open up the second floor door into the hallway, and he's going to just very slowly lean his head in. As he does that, he's going to pull out his phone. And he's going to text Michael's number and say, "Coming to you now."
Okay.
And it's the text will say, "Gather food, medical supplies," and then he'll send it.
climbing gear.
Put the phone away and start slowly making his way into the hall.
Okay. You get a text back. Okay. Do you want us to bring the climbing gear?
I don't know what good it's going to do on the first floor, but yes.
You get a thumbs up emoji.
Yes. It's faster.
And do you you just make your way straight over the door at that point?
No, I'm going to. I'm actually going to be muzzle first as I look into doorways along the way, and not running headlong directly to their room. I'm going to be checking out the rooms between here and there.
Okay. So as you're going through, what you quickly realize is the reason that you only really have her her and her boyfriend in her apartment is because most of the rooms here on the second floor are being painted, and you can see that there's some supplies left over in a few of the rooms from people setting up brand new toilets in some of the rooms.
Yeah,
Okay.
because remember from I think it was floor 5 down. They were vacated apartments, except which strange is Veronica's, but whatever.
I mean, that was a DM error, but whatever. Yeah.
Okay, we'll make our way to their room, and he's going to very lightly knock on the door.
Aaron, DMs don't make errors.
You right.
Rule number 1.
You knock on the door, and initially you don't hear anything.
I'm standing in plain view of the peephole.
Okay. There's the faintest of taps on the other side of the door, as you assume someone's coming to the peephole and probably just placed a gun on the other side of the door. And a few seconds later, you hear Michael's voice. Hey, Hey, hold on.
What's up?
And you can hear him undoing the latch and then undoing the bolt lock, and the door opens, and he peeks out.
Okay, he will be greeted with a smile. Probably not something he expected, but he'll be greeted with a smile, and I'll just give him kind of a little nod. What's up, man?
Okay,
You
well,
okay?
it's yeah. So, all right, give us like 2 minutes. We've almost got everything. Come on in. And he opens the door
Um,
fully, and you can see Veronica in the background. She's like going through, opening all the cabinets and putting all of the canned food into their hiker backpacks.
I'll shake my head no. I'll say I'm going to stay here in the hall just in case. You guys
Okay.
just get your shit packed. We're going downstairs, not up.
Okay. Yeah. And he moves away from the door, and he goes to getting his things, and you can see they don't bring all of their climbing gear, but they do bring some ropes, some pittons, and the name of the sickle axes is not coming to my mind, but you know what I'm talking about. And then just lots of canned food, um, you know, packs of ramen, things like that, and maybe a spare change of clothes before they zip up their bags, get them on, and you can see he's carrying a small case that his pistol would normally sit in. And as he picks it up, you can hear the rattle of the light rattle of ammo inside of it.
Awesome. I said if you have any other weapons, knives, guns, anything, bring it.
Okay. One sec. And he goes back into the kitchen, and he quickly fills up from the dishwasher a bunch of steak knives from um, what looks like a very expensive Japanese steak knife set. And he just like puts that under one of his arms, and then comes back over to the door, and he hands her the case with all the ammo in it.
Okay. I'm leading them back down. I will run point, heading back down. And I will make mention to them, you guys are lucky as shit that most of these apartments up here on the second floor were not rented out. I think that we've already run out all of the infected from this building, and we're currently on lockdown. Myself and Cabby, who's a paramedic, who arrived here right before the shit hit the fan. We're gonna go room to room. Mike, you're gonna come with us later. We're gonna go apartment to apartment, room to room, from bottom to top, and we're gonna clear this entire building and make sure it's secure.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sounds like a plan. And you notice V kind of waves from behind him at you, and she goes, "Hey, how you doing?"
Hey, we're actually doing real well, all things
That's good. That's
considered.
good. All right, let's go, boys. Let's go.
All right, we head back down,
All right.
and
Uh,
upon arriving back downstairs, pending no issues on the way down, Dexter will waste no time in introducing everybody as we all start arriving down there.
okay. So meanwhile, upstairs, with the ladies.
Um, she is going to start going through Dexter's closets, looking for like big duffel bags, maybe like travel size um, type of bags that they can start storing stuff in. She's going to ask Megan to go to the bathroom and just take all the medical supplies and put it into the medical bag that they have.
Mm-hmm.
You had already done that last
No,
time. I believe you had
n-
collected all that
no,
stuff, and
no, I had categorized it and inventoried it, but I had not taken it out. So, because again, I thought we were staying there. So she's gonna take that all and put it in the bag, or at least I'm gonna ask her to. Um, and then she is going to ask Kira, "Do you think you could maybe get some extra clothing that he has, any spare sheets, We can use those as bandages too if we need to. Get anything that you think is going to be useful after you do like the clothing stuff. Go start packing up and then just come back to, well, actually, I'm just going to tell her after you do that, just come back to me if you can. And then she's going to go into the kitchen and start packing everything food wise into bags as well.
What, would it be okay if I got the blood off of my head? I mean, it doesn't sound sanitary, and it's kind of
So
gross.
she, yeah, absolutely. But we're kind of in a pinch right now. Like we, hold on. Let me see what I would do. So she's going to take a sample of the blood on a Q-tip. She's going to put it into one of the test tubes, and she's going to secure it there for testing later. Okay.
Mhm.
And then she's going to help Kira get the crap washed out of her hair
Okay.
as quickly as possible. It may not be as thorough, but it'll definitely feel better.
I won't know any better. Girl time.
And then after that,
Labor. Yep. Grabbing the
Yeah.
sheets.
yeah,
Just gonna
yeah.
throw it all. I'm gonna get the bed sheet, just whiff it off, throw it on the floor, just open out the cabinet to just pour clothes on it because I really don't know what we're looking for here. And just once it's all in like a hobo pile, I just tie it off and make a big like sack out of the bed sheet. Just dragging it.
All right. So, and stop me if anyone wants to do anything, but over the next 2 hours, you guys go ahead and you get as much as you can, or you get everything you can packed away from the apartment upstairs, and the apartment on the second floor brought down to the security office. And you guys go ahead and with Michael, clear the building floor to floor.
Also, before too many more people get down to the first floor from the upper upstairs, Dexter will remove the body of the security guard, and he's going to put it into one of the vacant apartments there on the first floor.
Okay.
He'll put it behind 2 doors just in case, and shut both doors behind and lock them if they're locked.
That was actually bringing me to something that I had been meaning to. Is the basement pretty much secure as far as like there's only one way in, one way out?
One way in, one way out, and what's in the basement is the washing room and then the boiler room.
Okay. Dex, I think we need to try something.
I'm not building a zombie science lab in the basement with you.
No. We just need to know one thing about this, and I want to do it in a safe place.
All right.
So I'm gonna have him help me haul the dead security guard down to the office, or down to the basement.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back upstairs. I'm gonna make sure to put a pair of gloves on. Find some kind of like Tupperware container out of an apartment or something.
Mhm.
And see if I can find any of that black shit to scoop up.
Easily enough, you can quickly find some, and you scoop it into the container as carefully as you can.
All right.
Dexter's going to turn off the basement camera in the security room, and he's going to close the laptop, and he's going to look at Michael and Veronica and say, we're heading downstairs for a minute. You're going to expect 3 females that are going to show up with lots of supplies. They're going to be staying here with us. They're up on the 8th floor clearing out my apartment right now. Myself and the male EMT are going to be back in just a few minutes. Don't turn those monitors back on until we get back up.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
So we're gonna drag the body down to the basement, and find, take some of the rope from their climbing gear and bind it up to like one of the washing machines. And then I am
Bind
going
the
to
body up
take,
to one of the washing machines.
yeah,
Okay.
and be like, you just keep your gun on it. So I am going to take a little bit of the black stuff and just kind of pour it onto an open wound, see if there's any reaction.
Pour it. You wait, and you wait, and you wait. Nothing.
All right, and I'm gonna tilt the head back and pour more of it like in the face. Make sure I get some in the nose, in the mouth, in the eyes, and then back up and wait for a reaction.
You wait. You wait. Nothing.
So the dead stay dead. That's good.
Good thing to know. All right, well, I say we leave him tied up for a day or two just to make sure, but I think we don't have to worry about it too much. And then we go back upstairs, and then it dawns on me as soon as Kira, Rachel, and the other nurse make their way back downstairs, we need to test Kira.
Mm-hmm.
Blood test.
Okay.
So, once they get down there, I would just, go grab the glucometer kit out of my bag, pull out one of the automatic lancets, and walk over to Kira and explain that, we've got to test your blood and some rubbing alcohol just to make sure you're not infected at all.
Retest Mike and Veronica the proper way as well, please.
No, they already did it. Like they showed us.
They showed on camera.
They did a
Yep.
home self test. I'd appreciate
So
it if you guys would just do it.
I'll trying to keep everyone calm and amicable. I'll start on myself and I'll test myself and put a little drop in thing of alcohol. Any result?
No result.
All right. I'm gonna move over to Dex. Same thing.
Same thing.
All right. Do the two nurses,
Totally fine.
Michael and Veronica,
Bingo.
and
All right.
Kira.
So I guess I just prick my finger and drop blood.
Yep, just a little drop of blood and a thing of rubbing alcohol, and if it changes colors, we got a problem.
All right. So stabby stab. Not recycling yours, because I'm not trying to catch AIDS this way. But yeah.
Yeah, they're all
stab.
disposable, single use.
So they all say. Drop.
You do the drop. Nothing.
Disappointed. All right. So with that, since the jars got cut up, have the floors been cleared yet? Out of character, or are we about to do that fast forward?
Dexter's gonna nod and address the group and say, Cabby, Mike, and I went every floor to floor. We found nothing. We checked every single room, every bathroom, every bathtub. We pulled back the curtains. We looked in the pantries. The building's clear. Every door is locked down that can be remotely locked down. We need to do one more sweep of the building here on the first floor in the basement. Make sure that there are no other entry points that have to be manually locked that aren't currently. But other than that, this building is completely on lockdown, and you can be confident that you can walk around here safely.
You said there was a
I raise my hand.
gym
Hold
somewhere.
on.
Raise my hand.
Before we get into all that, I want to make sure one or two things is clear. Okay, we're on the first floor now. You cannot walk out into that lobby and turn lights on and off. Do not do anything that's going to risk visibility from the outside. Okay, these are things that are habit. We walk into a room, we turn a light switch on, we don't even think about it. You cannot do that. You have to think about these things.
You can
Maybe
see
we should just take the
Kira
light
with her hand
bulbs
up.
out.
Okay, you don't have to raise your hand. Woman, what's your name?
Oh, right. Hi, Kira. Nice to meet you. What are you guys called?
Hey, Mike. This is Vanessa.
Be so loud.
Veronica.
Oh,
It's
not
Veronica.
Vanessa. Veronica. My bad.
No, it's Vanessa.
That's where you've been saying Vanessa.
It's
Veronica.
Veronica.
It is Veronica.
Okay, so is Veronica the girl with the climbing gear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So is
Remember,
Vanessa the
Aaron,
nurse?
no mistakes.
No.
No.
That is Nurse Silvers. Megan Silvers.
Vanessa
Alright,
is a resident off the 2nd floor.
Okay.
No, Veronica is the resident off the 2nd floor.
Cavi's like,
is
DM
no
said Vanessa.
There
He's
is no
discriminating.
Vanessa, friends.
Remember,
Okay, Veronica.
DMs do not make mistakes.
Okay, so Veronica. All right. So I guess I raise my hand and go. Also, this might be a stupid question as like have my feet kicking. I'm just like still holding my water bottles awkwardly. Did you see any like extra backpack in all those rooms you checked?
Did we see what?
Extra backpack?
Extra backpack.
Mhm.
I was looking for undead that wanted to eat my face. I was not looking for backpacks. I'm sorry.
Is it safe to go looking for one?
Yeah, we can go look, and I'm sure we'll be. I mean, he said we can. We just need to not draw attention.
You can. Nobody moves alone. Everybody's with a partner. Even if you have to pee, you've got a partner at the door. There are no exceptions.
Ooh.
This rule.
Hand raised.
This rule will be followed, and
Hand raised higher. Hand raised higher.
No one is an exception. Yes.
Where is the bathroom in this room, by the way?
Mike chirps. There's one that's you can just go in either one of the apartments, or you can, you can go in one of the apartments. I'm pretty sure the security officer actually lived in apartment 107. So
Wait, does this connect to an apartment or?
no,
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So like, so are we gonna like pee in the corners and with all these cameras? Did you just go to the bathrooms? Because I'm not
The bathroom
really.
in every apartment. Go take a walk. Take someone with you though.
Eeny, meeny, miny.
I'll go with. I'll go with her. I'll go with her. So she'll go with Kira.
Okay. And I guess as we're walking out, I say to you, do you think we'll find a Panda Poo-Foo backpack? Another limited edition, hard to find this holiday season, but that'd be kind of cool. You seem kind of rich in this apartment.
I mean, I suppose it's good to have goals, even during a crisis.
And then put my water bottles down. These are mine. Please don't touch them. And just like eye you all as I walk out.
I will not touch your water bottles. But I mean, you may want. Are you going? So as she's going to the bathroom, Rachel continues talking to her. Well,
Oh no, I want to go look for a backpack, preferably a Panda Poo-Foo backpack. This special hot item of the season.
sure. Go ahead and make me a spot listen,
May the gods
or
defy.
better yet, actually search roll.
Yeah, I was thinking about earlier, like, now they know that exists. All right, let's see how bad I am at searching. All right, the usual. Let's see what the damage is. Oh, right, I gotta click this stuff. Cool. So,
None exist in the city.
you know what? I'm gonna commit to that.
Wow.
I'm gonna commit to that. Disappointment is important.
Okay. Yeah.
Jesus.
No.
How do you even roll 101? Oh, because you've got a 17 difficulty added on.
What?
Because of your black dice.
Oh, that's still on? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Take the black dice off. There you go. So we know the black dice do work.
Oh, they do? Okay. Oh, I see that. So now I'm curious about the other roll now. No, I think we just subtract the 17, I'd figure, right?
You rolled an 84. Okay. All right.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't find a backpack. Don't worry. I won't punish you for looking for a backpack.
Oh.
Do it.
Yeah. Your other one sorry, your other one, you had a 38 additional on your 50 or on your roll, which is what gave you the 52.
Okay, yeah. So the 13. Okay, I see. So it does add it. It just
Yep.
doesn't show it in our face. Okay,
You
yeah.
just have to hover your mouse over the number.
Number, yeah.
There we go.
Got it. Now we
Figuring
know.
things out.
Woo!
Yeah, I wish it was more visual clarity, but yeah.
Okay. Speaking of short-term goals, Dexter unlocks this gun cabinet or this gun safe and is going to check out what is inside.
Okay. So you go ahead and take the security officer's keys, find the right key. By the way, they are not marked, unfortunately.
Okay.
Excuse me. But you go ahead and find the most unique key on the chain, and use that to unlock the padlock. Excuse me. And inside are, oh god, the name immediately slipped my mind. They're 3.45 caliber pistols. They're Glocks.
Nice.
But I don't remember what the series was.
Either way, don't give them to people who don't know firearms. Glocks have no safeties.
And they're the tan they're the tan with the black grip Glocks.
Sounds like a 19.
Probably.
I mean, you can get them all in that color.
I don't remember all the numbers for the Glocks because I personally don't have one. So, all right. And there's 3 filled magazines that are in the cabinet with them.
Glock 19.
And there's an extra magazine for each gun that is unfilled, and there are 2 100-round boxes of 45 ammo.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to look for a holster, and I'll carry one personally.
Okay.
I try to see if I can find a second holster. If I can't find one, I'll go pull it off of the security guard, and we're gonna outfit Cabby with a handgun as well.
Okay. So you end up going to pull it off the security guard because there's no extra ones here in the security office, unfortunately.
Okay. In the security office, is there any body armor of any kind?
There is not.
Okay.
There is a small sink, however. So, life goals.
Hey, Dex,
Yes.
do you how's your reading collection?
The internet, man. I've got some books on canning up there, and by the way, I'm pulling this RP, looking over my shoulder at the limited number of books I actually have in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a book on I got a book on canning fruit and vegetables. I've got some old Forgotten Realms books.
So, having made our way through basically every apartment in the place, would I have seen any apartments that had any decent number of books?
There were 4 apartments that had books in them. You found quite a few Kindles in apartments that are locked and need either a passcode or a shape code. But the apartments that had books, one of the apartments was filled with psychological study books as well as romance novels. Another apartment was filled with like horror novels, and the last apartment was filled with a mix of horror, sci-fi, and autobiographical books of a few famous people.
Okay. So don't particularly need like any particular kinds of books like about certain subjects, but based off the fact that it sounds like we've got like sci-fi, horror, romance, and then textbooks. I would take, assuming the elevators are still working. Okay. I am going to take one of those bellhop carts. and I would take someone with me and collect up every book we can find. Ballpark, like how many softback, how many hardbacks are we thinking?
We're looking at like 10 hardbacks, and the rest are the other like 34 soft.
Okay. So I'm just gonna, grab one of the hardbacks and hold it up to my chest in front of Dexter and be like, "Body armor in a pinch."
That's works for me. It's going to be a little awkward running with that shit on, but
Yeah.
Sure.
And the backs, by the way, are all the autobiographical ones. One of them is signed by Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I love
should-
David's reaction.
You should 100% read that book because who knows what you're going to learn in it.
Or that will be the one book that saves us because physics.
no,
Mhm.
because we've got a badass over here meme. That's why it will be the one that saves us.
So, yeah, I'll just bring those back down and kind of store them away in one corner and be like, you can use the softbacks for limbs, use the hardbacks for front and back torso. But in a pinch, if we have to use them, we can.
Good call.
Um,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, as Kira and I are making our way through the rooms and stuff, I'm going to ask her so how did you end up with blood on the back of your head?
Do you am I going to just kind of like paint a scene, as in like just coincidental statistics that this is plausible for the sake of narratives?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say we're probably in a kid's room. I'm just gonna get a car, just like hold it in the air and go vroom vroom, and just throw it and flip it. It hits the floor.
You're in a car accident.
Nod my head.
Oh. Well, who were you traveling with?
Police. Freeze.
Why were you with the police?
I can answer that. They had picked you up and told you to travel with them because things were starting to get crazy, and they were trying to get out of the area and decided to stop and grab you.
And I just like look uncomfortably. I don't know. Maybe they thought I was a prostitute or something. The one guy seems suspicious. I don't trust him.
She's gonna be like, she's asking these questions like nonchalant as she's just kind of, looking through the apartments and picking some items, like some clothing that she thinks would fit some of the other females, and then some things that look like they might fit Kira. And she's also looking for books and materials and stuff like that. Also food. She's looking for some food items too. She'll take like just a backpack or a duffel bag or something like that she finds in one of the other apartments to store it in real quick. But as she's doing this, she's going to ask, well, what were you doing before they picked you up?
I was gonna go help my I just like think, oh crap. Shoot. Do the phone lines work here?
Well, the cell phones do right now. But not, I mean, we don't think it's going to last for very long because, I mean, like everything is falling apart. Like, I don't want to panic you or anything, but I need you to understand that right now everything is in a very bad place.
Okay, because I was on my way to go make a payment because my younger sister from the orphanage, well, I mean, I grew out of the system, but wanted to do Girl Scouts, and I was going to make a payment for her to start that process. So There's gonna be a surprise gift for the seasons and pops. So yeah, is there a way to call, like, do you know if your family's okay? Pointed question.
She gets like really rigid and stuff, and she says very simply, like after like standing upright, no.
Sorry. This
Um,
sucks.
so I don't know how much you know, but I'm just trying to focus on what I need to do to get to the next part where I can maybe check on them and maybe find out about them. But right now, we just need to make sure that we survive, if that makes any sense. And I mean, if you don't want to be here and you don't feel safe with us or something like that, I mean, you're not obligated to stay, but I really hope you do, because I don't want to see you out there. What was that? Was I supposed to hear something, Aaron?
No, that's someone walking in the background.
You are supposed to be hearing something, but
we
roll
are
20.
Okay.
Give me a second here as I refresh my roll 20 again. Curse you, roll 20 in your issues today.
I'm so proud I found that picture.
Hmm.
And let's see if it finally works. Crap.
Is that like is the one with the mustache RuPaul?
Yep.
Seems to have the cheekbones. Okay.
And we hear this from where?
Outside.
What sound was it? I can't hear it. Like, what was it?
It was a automatic like gunfire. So she's going to quickly gather Kira, duck down, and they're going to make their way back downstairs like fast.
Okay.
So hearing gunfire, I'm assuming me and Dex would immediately be running towards the front hallway to just kind of peek around and see if we could see anything out the front door.
Yeah, it's not long before you watch as a familiar-looking Humvee goes ripping down your street and quickly disappears out of view.
All right.
Would everyone on the first floor go ahead and make me a stealth check?
Oh, bad time.
Wait, are we on the first floor, Aaron?
I'm
or
gonna
not?
spend
No.
3 just to take a 1.
Dexter would have been upstairs because he would have been performing the non-automated door checks that he was talking about earlier.
Gotcha. 1 second. I need to make none and submit. Okay. And then another one for her. All right. And then, yeah. Silvers is with you guys upstairs. All right. So it's actually Michael who realizes it first. And quickly dashes over to you, Cabby, as you're kind of standing there in the center hallway looking out the window in shock. He grabs you and moves you behind the concierge desk to where you guys can just barely see over the counter through the large window. And you watch as his girlfriend slides down next to you guys, and you all duck down behind the counter for a moment before you just watch as about 20 infected start walking and shuffling their way down the street in the direction that the Humvee was going.
Wonderful.
Aaron, we really need music. I'm just saying. It was
I have
so
music
much
running.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, I can barely hear it, but it's there.
I don't hear it either.
Oh,
I turned it up now. Is that better?
Much.
I'll
No.
refresh again.
I'll
Yeah,
try
let me
refreshing too.
refresh.
Really sorry that the Roll20's having problems today.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a really nice site, but sometimes it is what it is.
Nope, I got nothing.
So, Aaron, as the Humvee goes down, Dexter's immediately going to grab that ham radio and run a scan on channels, see if he can pick up the Humvee, see if they're transmitting anything.
Okay.
Ooh, there's the music.
Yeah, there you go.
Same.
Yeah, you start doing a scan on channels. Cabby, what's the channel range on this thing?
So depending on the kind of radio, I know where we live, they're 800 based. I know the vast majority are moving to 800 based, but I know places like bigger cities where they can't switch over all at once get a mixture of 800 and frequencies. Typically, what you'll get on an EMS radio is EMS, fire, police, and then there's usually one channel used by National Guard.
Okay, so we'll say eventually you flip and you hit that channel, and
I hate to be that guy, but Eric might need to make a digital systems check. They're not easy to operate.
sure, absolutely. So Eric, yeah, go ahead and have Dexter make me a digital systems check.
Sorry.
Dexter is not me, and I am not Dexter, but I personally have a ham radio license, FYI.
Wasn't the ham radio
Course-
like
course
built
you do.
down in the
Yeah, it's in the security office.
You just got one of my portables on you?
I love that Eric knows like all this shit and has like a ham radio certification and all this stuff.
So interesting, yeah.
Would you like to spend competency? You can only get it down to 2 failures.
Yeah, I don't want that much red hanging over my head. So
Don't
yeah, I'm gonna
break
spend 3.
my goddamn radios.
All right. So you go ahead and spend the competency to get it down to 2 failures, and luckily you're up in the floors, so you're quickly startled and have to turn the radio off as it makes a squawk that's very loud, and sounds like you just tripped over a channel that was making a crap ton of noise but wasn't actually talking, and you panic quickly shut it off.
Okay. I'm going to rush downstairs, hold it out to Cabby, and say, see if you can get that Hummer on channel.
All right, so then I'll pull up the National Guard channel.
Okay. And because Cabby often uses this radio, we'll allow him to do it without having to make the check. All right. And we can say that for your experience in the future, you watch as Cabby operates the radio very quickly to get to this channel. And the two of you hear over the radio, "We're crossing 5th now. We're taking them over to Park Avenue." And there's a staticky comeback, like something's almost out of range. And you hear another person's voice saying something about Copper Street or Cooper Square. And then the radio goes dead. Not dead as in it runs out of battery, but just like it stops making noise after that.
I'm going to pull up a local map on one of the monitors in here, since we still have internet, and I'm going to check those locations. Are they headed away from the park?
They're... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Aaron, is it possible for you to put like a map of like on Roll20, like have
No.
a map? Oh, damn it.
I tried.
Like,
But the best I can get on Roll20 is like very blurry pieces of crap when it comes to being able to see a map of New York City.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Eric and Aaron. I'm sorry.
So you quickly look at a map, and you can see he's dragging them away from Central Park, and he's taking them over into NoHo and the Washington Square Park.
Okay, so Dexter will nod and glance back at the rest of the group and say, I don't think he's firing into the crowd with that 50. He may be, but I think that their primary goal is just to pull the herds away from Central Park, which is where they're trying to establish that FEMA camp so that they can start airlifting people out of here. But it's not going to be safe for us to get there. There's too much distance between us and there. If that Hummer, if we were able to get in contact with them and they could actually stop so that we could ride with them, that would be a whole different story. But on foot, in this, with as few weapons as we have, I don't think that we'd make it.
I'm gonna point out two things to Dex. Well, number one, we know that these things can be killed, and we can assume that at some point they'll run out of food. The question is, can we outlast them? And number two, if we really wanted to make a break for it, and I just kind of hold up my ambulance keys and jingle them a little bit.
True. We're going to need to do a couple of things. I got to go up to the roof. I'm going to check the roof and make sure that there are no connecting walkways or anything between the tops of the roofs. I highly doubt there are, but with these alleyways in New York City, you never know. So I'm going to go up and check that. We need somebody, a couple of somebodies to move together and go apartment to apartment of all the ones that were occupied and start bringing down all the food from the building. Then we'll be able to get a tally, and we'll be able to figure out how long exactly we'll be able to last here without heading over to the Trader Joe's, which I still think is going to be a necessity. We've already seen people attempting to get in and out of there, and the cop that was in the basement more than likely is now in the Trader Joe's, if not with a couple of other victims.
Or the Humvee will have drawn them away.
Yes, one or the other.
So I would say we would, tell Michael and Veronica,
Mm-hmm.
Start going floor to floor, collect as much food as you can. And then I would go with Dex to check the roof.
Okay. So the two of you head up to the roof, and when you get up there, you go through the door up there, and you're brought into the beautiful sight of the small rooftop, makeshift garden, and all of the patio chairs, and the bar that's up there, and the jacuzzi, and the two stainless steel grills that are up there. No walkways connecting the roofs.
When you say garden, I'm assuming it's decorative, right?
So it's like those very thin. Okay, so it's like a concrete barrier-looking thing. Yeah,
Planter
that
bed.
planter bed. They sit each about 3 foot tall, and they're only enough room for like a row of plants. And there's about 6 of them that are lined up in a straight shot behind the sunbathing chairs.
Is there enough square footage of garden to sustain us if we were to grow stuff here?
It's the middle of winter.
But not in the middle of winter.
I understand that.
Plus there are quite a few potted plants here, and also a few potted trees up here.
Us versus the next buildings over, how close are they?
The closest building is that 6-foot jump, and okay. you can look over there, and
is its roof higher or lower?
that one is slightly higher, but it'd be a tough jump because they're on that side of the building. There's a large rail on that side of your building, so
Thinking about a
it'd
6
still be a
jump,
tough
I can
jump.
make that.
Yeah.
All right, and then on the other building.
Let's see. The other buildings are all shorter.
Okay, so the only one we would have to worry about is that one. I'm gonna go over to the door. Yeah, I'm gonna go over to the door, and I'm gonna go on the inside of it, and be like, "Hey, Dex, try opening this," and I'm gonna close the door.
Okay, give it a shot.
You can't open it.
Okay, so the lock works.
All right, so if we stay off the roof, we should be okay.
And it's at that point that Dex, you remember when it comes to vehicles, you also have the option of the bike rentals that is in the gym room. There's a rack of bikes, enough for all of you, in the gym room that you can. They're padlocked onto a rack in the gym room, but you could easily break the padlocks or use a key to, if you could find the key, open him up and take him off.
Out of curiosity, can you see where we're at from this picture on our screen?
No, because this is looking in the wrong direction. The picture on the Roll20 screen is Grand Central Park, and it's looking in the direction of Upper Manhattan.
All right. Yeah, so as we make our way back down, and you're like, so are we gonna attempt to make it to the evac?
So have myself and Rachel returned back to the security room by now?
I would say yeah.
All right, cool. So as we're walking in, do we hear that statement?
Me and Dex would be walking back down from the roof.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay.
They're not in the
Nearest, yeah.
security room, which.
All right.
But we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and start unloading the items that we may have gotten and looking for where they went. Asking the others that are still there, like what happened, what was that gunshot, and all this other stuff, so I can be brought up to date.
Yep.
As to what's happening.
And Michael brings you up to speed on what happened. That they saw a military Humvee go by and it was shooting off. And Michael's like, I think it's a 50 cal. And then there were a bunch of infected that walked by the front door in that and followed them. And that's all that's happened so far.
So
Okay.
wait, the military around, what? Can't they like help us or something, or like?
I think they're trying to do something in preparation of the evacuation.
We got a text that they were gonna do something at the park.
Wait.
Yeah,
What?
it's at Central Park. They're gonna try to airlift out the survivors at Central Park. But I mean, it's snowing right now, and I know that it's supposed to be 5 feet.
So isn't that more reason for us to go sooner than later, especially if they just drove and the whatever you call them are following? Wouldn't that theoretically open up? Like, were they driving away from the park or towards the park or perpendicular or like?
I don't know. So she's gonna look back to whoever saw what happened and be like, what direction were they going? Were they going towards the park or away from the park?
Well, this and Michael like looks out. This is 21st, West 21st, so this goes parallel. Essentially, you're not going, towards or away from it with this road here, and I don't know which way they turned. So,
Oh, okay, right, okay.
If you guys recall, Dexter covered that when he was talking to you right after.
We weren't. We
Yeah,
weren't
we weren't a
there.
part of that. Okay,
so
just
you
let
would
us
have you would have told Michael.
Yeah, Michael and Veronica would have known.
Okay, so then my correction. He will say, and apparently they're headed to NoHo. So they're going away from the park.
Huh. How far is the park from here?
It's like 48 minutes if you walk.
That's about 2 miles. That's not that far. How long till the evac?
11:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we got what, like 10 hours at this point?
At this point, yeah.
So if it was just
At this time, like the adrenaline and everything else that Rachel has felt throughout this entire first ordeal that she's gone through is wearing off.
Mhm.
And having lugged stuff downstairs, the immediate threat of there being infected in this building gone, she's starting to crash. So it's already past midnight by now. And I mean, she's been up since 5 a.m. So she's basically she's leaning against a clean wall and sliding down it, and her knees are bent up and she's kind of just resting her elbows on her knees. Like, I think we should go. So you guys, if I'm exhausted, and I think we should go.
Silvers gets you a blanket and hands it over to you with a pillow.
So this is my concern then, and I guess. Sorry, you must be really tired. If we go now, even though it is dark, the snow isn't as intense, and we do have a possible opening from the Humvee thing. But the benefits of getting a full night's rest is we'll be fresher, but then there's less room for error or adjustments. Because if we had to do a 40-minute travel on casual, no obstacle walking, I'd say we want to triple that time just in case we have adversity or need to sneak around minimum. So say we want to prepare for at least a 3-hour trip, if not 4.
We have the cars out front. She
It's
says
about this time that both Cabby and Dexter finally come into the hallway of the first floor.
Well, if we have a car, then this just seems brain dead because in the worst case scenario, I've seen enough movies to see where military acts weird now. We just do a drive-by and see if they're just rounding up people and shooting them in the head. Then we just turn around and hope they don't notice us.
Wait, the military would just shoot us in the head? Would I know this about protocol? Like, as being a medical person? Like, would I know that military would just suddenly turn around and start shooting us in the head?
It would no longer be a medical call. It would be purely military.
Yeah, I mean, if there's people that, as you guys claim, are acting violent or I still don't understand the details of this infection you guys talk about, and they're a danger, it seems reasonable. I don't want to talk about how I know. Just basically, yeah, I think they would shoot on site if they are at that level. But if this is supposed to be an evacuation, then rightfully so, I think they would just evac us and test us, or test and evac or whatever. We'll probably quarantine if it's all legit. But
yeah, they were taking the positive testers over to checkpoints on the other side of the bridges of the river, and
No, that's for the interstate borders. The interstate borders, if anyone tries to travel at this point, they either have to go through the airports or they have to drive. Anyone who goes through the airports gets checked there. Anyone who goes across the state border gets checked by the state, by either the state or National Guard of that state. and if they register as positive for the infection, they're thrown into quarantine villages.
Aaron, is not the other side of like Jefferson and whatever that highway was, like, is that not Jersey? I think that's Jersey on the other side of the river.
Is that Jersey or New York State?
It's not that far. Jersey is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a very quick intersection between New York City and going into Jersey. Like it's.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I would not be surprised if on the other side of those bridges there are checkpoints.
Probably.
And if they took the positive tested individuals to those checkpoints, then they're fucked.
I was gonna say, why would they do that? That sounds more suspicious. Because because you guys are talking about bridges. Is this place just like in? Wait, no, because this is out of curiosity. This is like an island, right? Like we're in Manhattan.
All of Manhattan is an island.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So my character would definitely notice we live in New York. Okay, so I'm like, wait. So if we're on an island and they're gonna do an evac, I feel like that's politically their last chance to try to make face before they blow this sky high. Because I don't know the details, you guys know, but it just sounds like it could be a really bad contagion episode. And if it's really bad.
At this point, I'd just pull up the infection map on the phone and hand it to Kira.
What do these colors mean?
Like, we are beyond bad.
There's a key on the map.
Yeah, there's a key on the map, and Black essentially says no contact from government or civilian. Red says heavy presence of fighting and infection. And yellow says very low. And then green is just fine.
Okay. Look at this time.
Also, it's important to note our location is very close to the dot that says New York.
So
I'm not joking. Like, do you see the dot that it's a little bit larger than everything else and it says New York? Like, our street is not far from that dot.
I'm trying to find the map in the chat.
This is what happens when you spam memes in the chat.
No regrets. No regrets. Okay, so I can see the word New York, and I see, yep, yeah. So, I mean, by the time it's morning, I would think that we're gonna be approaching Black territory very soon. That might sound out of context. Well, good thing we're not on a TV show. Anyways, so yeah. So what is everybody's plan? Because I know just the outsiders showing up here, but like, are you planning on getting the hell out of here, right?
Okay, so listen up for a minute. There are 4 possible outcomes for decisions that we can make right now. Number 1, we stay here. We have a secured building with no undead in it, no threats inside currently. It would be very difficult for them to get into this building once we get everything tied up and secured. It would be very difficult. Now, we have food for approximately 2 months currently. There's a Trader Joe's, like right down the street, that at a little bit of personal risk, and I'm willing to take that risk. I'm sure that Cabby and probably Mike Wilt as well. We can go in there and get more food and potentially extend ourselves out to even potentially a year with all the food that a Trader Joe's has in it. Now, that's option 1, okay? Snug is a bug in this building, and that is probably the most likely of scenarios to come true if we pursue it. The second option of the 4, we decide to go, and we die trying to make our way to the evacuation point. Okay, that's option 2, or possibility 2. Possibility 3, we get on the road, the weather gets too bad, we run into a herd of infected, we get ourselves hidden, and now we're stuck in a building, potentially to be snowed in for up to a week or more with 5 feet of snow and no food, and potentially no security. The last option, we take a vehicle at the risk of alerting the undead. We drive to the location that they're claiming is a FEMA evac currently, which we don't have confirmation whether it is or not. I would like to hope that it is, but it's a question mark right now. We get there, and they either turn us away or they don't. Okay, so that's option 4. Now, I would like to think that since we've got 2 medical professionals here, that they would welcome us in with open arms. 3 medical professionals here, that they would welcome us in with open arms. But at the same time, you got to remember that that means that that's 3 less medical professionals that's going to be in this area if we find anybody else that needs help. So we're not just making a decision for ourselves, we're making a decision for any other survivors that are going to be here after we're gone as well.
So, we'll finish up.
I'm just saying that because I'm all for self-preservation, but at the same time, we're in a good situation here, and I think that if we stayed, we might be able to do right by other survivors where they can't help themselves.
Well, I respect the altruism of that, but honestly, I feel this is a battle of attrition if we decide to hunker down and the odds are stacked against us. We have a New York winter, we have a snowstorm coming up with 5 feet of snow. Once the city starts getting evacuated, things like power lines, phone lines, any of that are likely to start going down. So this building does have a generator that's going to require gas and noise. New York is a densely populated area with a lot of blind spots. So if this is what this map looks like in how many hours? Let's see, 8. I feel it's going to get substantially worse within a week. So I'm not even worried about us having enough food, but like the option of even getting to Trader Joe's seems implausible if the streets are just full of people or creatures walking around wildly. I just feel like it's a battle of time, and
I was going to say, let me sum up here just to kill a little time. We have option A, which is hunker down, try and outlast the zombies. Option B, try and make a break for the.
We could take the ferry. We could take the ferry across.
I don't think the ferry's probably running right now.
Well, there are other boats there. And she looks over at Dexter. Like, are you capable of maneuvering a boat? It's away from it's away from Central Park, but at the same time, it would get us off this island that's going to be infected with a shit ton of zombies in a short amount of time.
We don't even know if the boat is currently located on our side of the water.
There's a ton of boats. There are tons of harbors or ports all along that.
Yeah, but there's 2 things to think about with that. Number 1, are the harbors frozen at this point?
I mean, it's the fucking Hudson.
And
number Hudson River.
And number 2, once you get out to open water, I mean, I've seen open water in the winter. Hell, my dad used to be a lobster fisherman. That's not somewhere you want to be.
How about, like, at minimum, could we at least just plan to get some rest and just do a quick drive-by of Central Park tomorrow to gather intel so that we can decide which direction we want to go? The boat sounds like a decent escape contingency, but I don't think we have the information to make a decision.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. We get a few hours of sleep. In the morning, if the roads are drivable, since I'm the one who knows how to drive that thing, if the roads are drivable, we'll try and make our way to Central Park. If we can't make it there, we'll head to the bay. Worst case scenario, we wind up trying to get back here.
Worst case scenario is we die in transit.
Worst case non-fatal scenario? I'm trying to give options here, man.
That's fair. See, that's where it's, do we travel now when there's less snow, or do we just, because I think rest is important, but I just worry about a lot of snow being an obstacle.
This is why I suggest
What do
get some sleep. We're all running on empty.
What does Michael and Veronica and Megan want to do?
Oh yeah, you're right. We're being insensitive. What do you guys think?
And this is...
Yeah, this is where we're getting the DM's Deus Ex Machina bullshit. I think you guys should.
And Megan says, go for the evac. Why stay in the city? I mean, yeah, there's... I don't know. And Michael and his girlfriend are kind of like looking at each other, and they say...
Wasn't Veronica the girlfriend?
Yeah.
Veronica is the girlfriend of Michael,
Yeah. That's why I said Megan. Megan said go for the evac.
Oh, I thought you said Veronica. My bad.
No.
Me too.
But the two of them just look at each other for a moment and go, we could probably make it in the city. I mean, the problem is if they start bombing the city.
I'm worried about that.
I don't think for the purposes, even just the purposes of morale, that anybody is going to approve the laying to waste of New York City.
So
now there could potentially be strikes.
Well, we were watching ABC and they blew the northern bridges.
So looking
What?
looking at the infection map, I'm like, all right, this was 6 hours ago, and it took 2 hours to get to this point.
But that was
I
two?
would bet you most of the country is bare minimum red.
I would say yellow, but damn.
I don't know if there's going to be enough semblance of a government for them to care about bombing this city.
See, and that's my concern, is that we get out of the city and there's no safe place to go and hunker down where we already have food, we already have security, we already have a locked building like we have here.
The only thing we don't have is reliable heat.
Yeah, that worries me. But also, when we consider the enemy, if our enemy are recycled humans, I'd argue in any tactical situation, you'd want to have a better resource stock than your enemy. So we don't know enough about whether or not they need to have nutrition, if they need shelter, if they need heat, and they have a lot more numbers in this scenario. So even though there is the reinforced area, if we could find something up in at least upstate New York that's more,
I'm just gonna bring up, the test we did in the basement. Be like, they can't bring back people who are already dead. Not everyone gets turned into them. So we can assume that these things are, in fact, alive. We watched a few of them get killed on webcams in Times Square.
Or no, they fell down dead. They weren't killed. They just
no. They were like ripped in half by the 50 cal off the Humvee.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they were crawling for a little bit and then stopped moving. So we can assume that they're hard to kill, but like any creature on the planet, they gotta have food.
That's a fair theory. Okay, so with that, I think hunkering down seems reasonable, but depending on the situation in the morning, I still think it's worth just at least seeing what's going on with Central Park. At minimum, if we decide to hunker, we can at least get an understanding of the status of things, maybe.
From our roof, you said it's a couple miles away. Or I mean, like the park is a couple miles from our building.
Yeah, it's 2 miles away from the building, roughly.
Okay. From the roof, are we able to see any of the park?
Unfortunately, no. Instead, what you can see from the roof is like the New York City downtown skyline and a few important buildings here and there, and then a couple of apartments further out that are taller than your building. Lots of water towers.
All right. So, yeah, I would say, you know, let's get some sleep in the morning. We'll see what the weather's like. If it's undrivable, I mean, obviously that kind of makes our decision for us, but none of us are going to be able to go anywhere right now.
Is there anything else we know about this infection, like how it passes, or like what exactly it's doing to people? Does it
So
affect animals?
From what we can gather, we haven't seen any animals, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. We know it only infects living humans. We've got a body tied up in the basement right now that I already infected, and we'll see if anything happens. But we know that these things seem to attack victims and attempt to vomit this black shit in their faces. Seems to be the route of infection.
Do any of you tell her about what you saw with Mr. Blue Sky?
We do. Well, I would bring up that we're not just talking about normal aggressive humans either. There are mutations with this. We've seen,
Wait, hold on. What?
and you know, I would explain that, you know, we've seen some variations on them. You know, we saw a couple that seemed like their fingers had grown into massive claws. We seen one that seemed potentially intelligent, and we heard something very, very big from off the other side of the city.
Okay, wait, hold on. I hate to be negative, Nancy, but okay, wait. So we're not just talking about an army of flumpy humans. We're talking about walking claw machine, plausible intelligent one, and maybe a walking rock. I'm not as confident this building can hold up if we're dealing with superheroes.
I think it's more a matter of stay here and stay hidden.
That's correct. The question is, do you think that you can outrun these things?
I think that's more reason to try to eat because okay, I'm just saying if they're doing some kind of mutation strain on the DNA of humans, isn't super sensory plausible? So even if we're trying to be quiet, what if they can see through?
They seem to be drawn to vibration, is what we've got.
Sound and vibration.
Let's not
Start
start
the same thing.
Let's not start filling our heads with silliness like this virus was intended to build superheroes. Okay, we've seen some abnormalities. We don't know what the claws can do. We don't know whether or not the intelligent person we saw was actually infected. He didn't even appear to be infected. We don't know if they were even the normal infected, because there was a small group of these things, these creatures. I mean, it could have potentially been a group of regular people dressed up to scare others.
You know, Dex, you actually make a good point. Not about the people dressed up as costumes. I think that's kind of. I'd make the kind of crazy symbol next to my head.
There's always going to be groups of anarchists who thrive on chaotic times.
But no, the
very beginning of time.
The thing you're making a lot of sense on is oh, damn it, I had it. My mind just went blank. Is that Oh, the Humvee that went by. All of the ones following that, Aaron, were kind of slow shambling, right?
Yeah.
And they were obviously following the Humvee.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that we had in this building,
They didn't respond the same way, which is why I think that it's just.
they ran like a bat out of hell.
Yes.
Wait a
So
minute.
they may be the abnormals, even.
Wait, what?
So basically, we're talking your common zombie would be like the traditional Romero shamblers,
They stumble around, they walk, they don't
but
run.
you get your 28 days later mixed in there every now and then, and a little bit of Resident Evil once in a while.
That
Resident Evil?
run.
I don't buy the mutated zombie idea, guys. And the reason that I don't, if you recall, we watched on the video the ones that we thought were mutated with the claws for hands and all that kind of shit. They came in with the kid. Okay, that kid couldn't have been older than 18. 18-year-olds, and he kind of holds his hand out to the young girl. No offense. Kids of that age are not capable and do not hold the capacity for leading undead armies, okay? It's just bullshit. Not to mention, okay, the fact that when they went to floor number 5 and they pulled Michael out of this building, he was alive, and the one with claws went up to get him. That means that either A, it was a mutated beast with sentience because it could follow orders and not kill the guy, or B, it was just some asshole in a scary looking costume and they're running around taking advantage of the situation that's going on right now.
So if anybody's panicking from, because I don't know if we ever told Michael and Veronica what happened to the other Michael on floor 5. If they're panicking, and because she's looking to see if they are, she's going to try to calm them down.
They're not panicking. It's just Michael is looking very confused.
Hey, Aaron. So the sprinters,
Yes.
general speed, like
General speed would
like an average
be...
person at a full tilt sprint, could they keep pace?
They could keep pace, yeah.
Okay. How about the one that rushed up the stairs and took the guy from 7? 5.
The guy from 5. The one without claws?
No.
The one with claws? Because remember,
Yeah,
2 went
that's what I was
upstairs.
wondering.
There was one
Yeah.
without and one with claws.
So the one
went
with
upstairs.
claws, how quick?
The one with claws? A bit faster, but you could tell he was slowing himself down. So the other one could keep up.
So, I would point that out to Dex and be like, unless this dude's an Olympic sprinter, I don't know that that's just a guy in a costume. And after all, and I'm just going to gesture to the front door, this isn't exactly your normal scenario anyway.
Wait, why would people wear costumes? Okay, look, I know we're all tired. We need to get sleep. Just really quick, asking the DM out of character, did I see any animals looking through these rooms? Any pets?
You would have seen, like, those keep in your animal gates that some people would have had in their houses, where it's essentially like a small fence in your house. Yeah, you would have seen a few of those, but no pets inside of them.
Okay, so no animals. Okay, because that would be a nice thing to test. All right. Okay, this is all pretty nightmare fuel. So, I guess I vote we just call it a night. Decide to wake up at least maybe 4 hours before. Maybe like one shift who's not as tired gets up like 5 hours before the evac time, just to do a quick gathering of intel. See how much snow there is and stuff, and then everybody else wakes up 3 hours before evac, and we just figure it out from there. How does that sound?
Hey, guys, look. And Michael points over towards the cameras, and Paint Man is back.
Who?
And you
What
watch
is
as a
that?
familiar face makes his way
He's
back into
going-
the Sherwin Williams.
He got cement last
And
time. What is
I
he
am
getting
gonna
now?
at that. I am just gonna start making my way over to the front door.
What? Wait, where are you going? Who is that? What's happening?
I don't
Quiet.
know.
And as that happens, I'm gonna ask my players, how are we doing for time?
I'm good.
Okay.
I can go till 1.
I cannot. I have to work.
Okay. Then, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, as Cabby walks through the security doorway and makes his way towards the front doors, that is where we are going to call episode 2 of Here We Are, Year 0. Thank you all so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. I have been your DM, GM, storyteller of Forgotten Dreams, and I have been joined by a lovely cast of people. We have Eric playing Dexter, we have Ava playing Rachel, we have Cabby playing Cabby, and we have Moo playing Kira. We'll see you next time. Adios!
Bye. Follow him.